Yeah, hi everyone. Very good afternoon. Uh, Hi, Dr. Satish sir. Hello, Dr.
Yeah, good
Purna ma'am.
afternoon, Ankeji.
Hmm. So let me start with the second part of like today's session, and we are going to cover with like how to use the databases concept and the basic Tableau introduction, right? So just let me know like if you have any doubt related to the part one, like what exactly that we have covered, the Google Looker Studio and the basic implementation of dashboard development and the same thing like. So any doubts, sir? Dr. Karuna ma'am, and the participants are very low, right? I think I need to get update the same thing when, with Hindu ma'am as well. So there might be some challenges with other like participants or faculties कि कुछ ना कुछ issue होगा, right? Otherwise they should join. So no issue, let me just share my screen. And now we know that the very basic one is कि if you're working as a business analyst, you should know the databases concept, where the exactly the company's data is stored. If you are getting the very like huge amount of data, we know that there is a limitation for Excel as well, right? So if the number of data size or the number of rows are increasing on day by day basis, and we want a real time analysis, so there should be some like the software or some sort of techniques or tools that can store any amount of data, right? So for that, developers worked on a databases concept. So what exactly the databases are? Database is just like a containers, okay, that can contain any amount of data. So it can contain any amount of data means you have to be very specific with the pocket size or the monetary size that you are looking for, right? So it can store any amount of data. And the main thing is that mainly the databases are divided into two parts. The first is called the structured part. If the first is like my structured part, that can contain the data related to structured format. It's not like it's in a well structured format. Whenever I'm saying the structured databases, it exactly represent the tabular format, right? So there is a structured databases, structured structured databases, that represent we have a tabular form of data, right? Tabular form of data. And if we are getting unstructured format, that doesn't represent ki we are getting messy data or anomalies with the data, right? It exactly represent ki we are getting the data in file format, right? So unstructured data or unstructured table represent the data is not in a tabular format, it is like in a file format, okay? So the file format, like the data could be in a videos format, data could be like in a image format as well, right? The document format as well. So we have a multiple databases that can particularly use all these kinds of databases concept, right? So IMAGE, image format, doc format, audios format of file, videos format of file, and like any software format also you can store, right? See, when you work as a business analyst, it's very important to you to understand the databases concept, and in different scenarios you have to tackle the different concept related to the databases, right? So we will start with the basic implementation of a structured databases, and structured database represent that the data that we are getting in a tabular format, right? So let me write this: the structured data that we are getting in a tabular format. And see, the thing is that it's not like mentioned in your like day-to-day curriculum or the module, but it is just a complementary part that I am covering it, right? So data is stored in a tabular format, and the data can be like stored with anomalies as well. The data can be like we have multiple column as well. So what exactly the tabular format data represent? Whenever you are getting data in column wise and row wise format, column wise and row wise format, so that can be referred as a tabular data, right? That can be referred as a tabular data whenever that data that you are getting in column wise and row wise format, right? So let me just show you. This is the basic Excel, right? And that it is like my the columns name like G column, H column, and I column. And I know that there is a limitation in Excel. We can like particularly go beyond. We cannot go beyond like 60,384, right? This is the maximum number of columns that we can store inside Excel, and the number of rows are like 10,48,576. If you just hit Control down arrow, This is the maximum number of data that you can store. And if you just hit controlled right arrow, this is the maximum number of column, and the name with is like XFD, right? So XFD is like 16,384, and you can just cross verify it by like selecting all the cells, right? But what in case if you are getting the data like it's close to 10 lakh per second or 20 lakh per second, or it's like millions of data, we know that we cannot store that data inside Excel. So that's why there is a requirement of a databases concept. And the databases, like if you want to work with the databases concept, you need to understand the concept of DBMS system. DBMS refer as a database management system, right? Database management system. And database management system is just nothing, is just a software, right? It's just a kind of software or a tool that allows you to store any data or any sort of like structured format of data or unstructured format of data, right? Database management system. But the thing is that in previous days or in older days we were like normally using the DBMS concept, but right now there is a concept which is called the RDBMS, right? RDBMS exactly represent whatever the database management system we are using. The tabular data is like in related. They all are related to each other, right? So we can say that it's a relatable database management system or relational database management system. Relational database management system, right? So when you like start with the basic concept with the like DBMS concept, then we'll finally end the same concept with the RDBMS, right? So let me just show you the list of popular RDBMS available right now in the market. So RDBMS are just like my softwares. So I can use MySQL, Microsoft SQL Server, PostgreSQL. We have IBM DB2 as well, like from IBM company. MariaDB, Microsoft Access. Again, it's a popular product of a Microsoft company, right? Again, Amazon Aurora, right? If we want to use a basic implementation of databases, then I can use the SQLite as well, right? So if you're working with the SAP kind of product, or like for any company that uses the SAP, so you can use SAP HANA as well. SAP HANA is like the databases for the SAP providers, right? So we have multiple softwares or multiple databases that we can use. But right now, when you work as a business analyst, you should know at least 5 to 10 popular databases that we generally use in day-to-day environment, like the MySQL, Microsoft SQL Server, and the PostgreSQL, and followed by the like Amazon Aurora and Oracle and IBM DB2, right? So our today agenda like is I'll give you the overview of what exactly and how to use the MySQL. I have already given you the overview of Microsoft SQL Server. We will try to learn some concept, how to create a database, how to create a table, how to insert some queries, or how to insert some rows or data inside our databases or the table that we have created, right? So let me start with the very basic one, which is like the MySQL. So MySQL, again, it's a GPU free kind of tool. You don't need to pay a single penny for this, right? So it was like just an open source kind of software, but the thing is that Oracle has acquired the same software, and now that MySQL comes under the umbrella of Oracle company, right? Oracle has their own popular tool, which is like Oracle DB2, and you can use the MySQL as well, which is again a byproduct of Oracle company, right? So let me just give you how to download this, and you already aware of that. Then I'll directly jump to the coding part as well, right? So if you are using this MySQL, you can pick any of the system, whether it is like Microsoft or Windows or like any Mac environment. Just simply need to download this MySQL download, and just simply click next, 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 and it will get downloaded in your system and execute the same file, right? Now let me just open the same MySQL software. We know that this is an RDBMS, like relational database management system, right? Now what exactly the RDBMS look like, right? So the relational words represent that the table or the data inside the databases, that a single databases can contain like multiple table, and both table or the multiple table are related to each other. There might be some like common columns between the given tables, and due to that common relationship and the relationals, like the relationship between the databases, that's why we refer this as a RDBMS, right? So here we can see that there is one table that is connected with another table with some sort of like the primary keys and the foreign key concept, right? And we generally refer this as a relationship, and the relationship we have like multiple types. Generally we refer this relationship as a four types of relationship, And in Power BI we refer this the same relationship with the cardinalities concept, right? So if I want to connect my one table to another table, there should be some common column between both table, right? And that common column generally referred by as a primary key or a foreign key. So let me just show you what exactly the primary key and the foreign key represent, right? So pk in table, the pk is like the primary key. Primary key is like the main column of any table that should represent the entire data. If it is not available, you can particularly say that the data is wrong, right? So if like any employees come like working in any xyz company, they should have their like employee id. You cannot say that I am working in this company but I don't have my employee id, right? So I can say that employee id is my primary key, because employee id is unique in nature, and you cannot give the same employee id to another employee, right? It should be unique in nature, and it cannot be duplicate as well, right? So if I just compare with the student id, so student id is my primary key. Like in like when it comes to like for government point of view, if they want to consider every person as a unique person, so they have given the each and individual person as their like unique id as well. And that's why we have the Aadhaar card number, which is like UIDAI. And if you just check the full form of this UIDAI, it will give unique identification authority for India, right? Authority of India. And it is a primary key of our detail that can government pick and identify the overall detail related to us or related to we, right? So in this case we can say student id is a primary key id, and Aadhaar card id is a primary key id for government, and like the employee id is again the customer id. Again, all these are my primary keys example, right? And one table must contain one primary key, and a primary key column cannot be duplicated, a primary key column cannot be null, a primary key cannot contain any missing values, it cannot contain any duplicate values as well. You cannot say that like in our company we have a two employee with the same employee id. It is wrong. So in practical situation it cannot be like execute in a same way. So if we are connecting one table to another table, there should be some common column, or there should be some common values between both of them, right? So there where there is a concept of foreign key comes into the role, right? So foreign key is like it's like a common column between two given columns. So let me just show you how it looks like. So foreign key in table. So you can just say that like we have a two different tables. The one is like users table and the another is like orders table. And we know that in users table we have the user ID, which is again the primary key, and in orders table we have again the user ID, which is like the primary key. But it is a primary key of some another table. That's why we refer this as a primary key as a foreign key. The foreign key is like if I am getting this as a foreign key, it can represent like it should be or it was or it is a part of like any one of the table or any one of the primary keys table, right? So I can refer this user id should be a part of user table as a primary key, and we can refer this as a foreign key concept as well, right? So if I want to connect or like both table together, there should be common column, and in this users table this user id is a primary key, and in this orders table this order number is a primary key. But we are getting the user id. This user id is a primary key of this user table, but it is like using in this orders table, so we can refer this as a like user id as a foreign key, right? And if I want to establish a relationship between both table, there should be the primary key and the foreign key relationship, right? In this way you can create your data modeling concept as well, and you can establish the multiple cardinalities and relationship concept, right? So let me just show you how to do this practically. I have my the like this MySQL workbench. This is like the GUI application that you can use for database creation and table insertion, right? This one is like my username, which is the root, and I am using this user root in my local host. It should give me the local host value with the port ID number, and that is 3306 is a port ID number, right? I can use any software with a local host, and it should not be connected with the internet. There is no such requirement, right? So with the help of Control T, you can create a new tab and a blank tab. Okay. So before I just continue with the next topic, how to create a table from scratch and a databases concept. So anyone having like doubt related to this, Mr. Like Dr. Satish sir, Dr. Pooja ma'am, Dr. Madan sir, Dr. Aishwarya ma'am, any doubt related to this? Just let
No
me know.
doubt. It's
Okay. So
fine.
have you ever used this databases concept, Satish sir? Like how to use my
Uh, no, no. When I was doing this cardinality concept, cardinality in Power BI. So
Okay.
I can relate. I mean the primary key, foreign primary key. If
Okay.
we have to connect two tables, then we have to use this the common column.
Definitely, right? So the thing is that Power BI has its own limitation. Like you cannot particularly store a data of like more than 2 GB, right? You have to use the pro and premium version for this. But the thing is that if we have like the data that can be stored in billions of rows or trillions of rows, so we should store that data inside a databases, and that software that can communicate with that database is a database management system. And right now in the market it can be referred as a RDBMS, which is like relational database management system, right? So we have already used a Microsoft SQL Server, is a product of Microsoft company and is a software, right? And I am right now using MySQL as a RDBMS software, and it's a product of Oracle company. That common differences between both of them just with their like tool appearance, all like not follows the same tool appearance, but the common things that they share is a SQL language. If I want to communicate with my database, I need some programming language, and that domain specific programming language. This SQL is a programming language, but the thing is that it is a domain specific programming language, right? You can only communicate with the data or the databases or the table, so that's why the domain is fixed. That's why we can refer this as a domain specific programming language, right? Now the full form of SQL is structured query language. Why we are referring this as a structured word? Because we know that inside databases we have to store a table, and table is represented as a structured format, so that's why we are referring this as a structured query language, right? Structured, and we want to query something from where, like in databases or with the table as well, right? So we need to write this as a query, and for that we need any language, so that's why it becomes the structured query language, right? Now how to learn and what to learn and the different common terms that we need to follow inside any SQL concept that we are referring in, right? So let me just show you. You can like take a reference of this website, which is very popular one, like the W3 school. Okay, it will give you the overview how to use any basic implementation of SQL, right? And the thing is that it gives you can use any of the tools like MySQL, SQL Server, and any sort of tools, right? Now what we want to learn how to create a database, how to create a table, right? So let me just first tell you one thing. Ki SQL is a case insensitive language. The case insensitive represent, it doesn't matter whether you are writing like the queries in uppercase or in lowercase. It can like it should be considered as like the same set of statement or set of syntax, right? So it, you can use any of the cases whether it is like lower or upper. It does not represent any of like problem related to the case that you are using, right? So let me just first learn how to create a database. So first of all, you need to write a create statement and then followed by create database, and then with the database name that you want to refer, right? Suppose I want to create a database name with the Gautam Buddha University, so GBU, right? The semicolon is the terminator. It represents that my statement ends here, and I just need to select this query and just execute this one, and it will give you the success result. And let me just cross verify this. If I am getting this green tick output, that shows that the query that I have written here is the perfect one, and I have created the databases as well. And let me just refresh this, and that database is arranged in a alphabetical order, so you can just check, okay, this is the GVU, right? Now inside any databases, what you have to learn, you can create a multiple table. You can import the table as well, right? In SQL Server we have imported the data, but let me show you how to create a table using the SQL query, right? So this double hyphen I am using, right? I can particularly consider this as a comment. That comment, what exactly this comment represent? The comment represent key, it cannot be executed by the SQL interpreter or my MySQL interpreter. It is just treated as a message, right? So this double hyphen represent a comment, right? Now I want to create a table, so this is just a message, and for that I need to write this create statement, right? So create is a statement. Now before I just start with the like what exactly the create statement did, actually the any my like MySQL or SQL Server or any sort of RDBMS or SQL language divided into different like commands, and we generally refer this as a DDL command, DML command, DCL, TCL, and DQL commands, right? All these are related to the databases. Let me just give you, this is the very like basic questions that interviewer or any like the companies might ask, and the business analysts need to understand these type of queries. It doesn't represent that the business analysts need to do this on day to day basis, right? You just have to understand these type of concept. You can simply ignore if you know all these concept, right? So all these are my like the queries and the type of bifurcation of the SQL language: DDL, DML, DCL, TCL, and DQL. This DDL is like the data definition language, and this DML is like the data manipulation language. DDL represent the data definition, DML represent the data manipulation, TCL represent the transaction control language, DQL is my the data query language. And as a business analyst, most of the cases you have to use this DQL statement, right? And what about this DCL? If you're working as a like the database administrator or like a SQL administrator or a SQL developer, then you need to work on this, right? DCL command. But in most of the cases, or like 70 to 80%, you generally use this DQL query. DQL represent like you want to query, so you have to use this database query language or like the data query language, right? So this create command, we are creating something now. So this create command is a part of this DDL language, that is like the data definition language, right? Now we have created the data with the help of, like, we have created database with the help of create command. Now we are creating table. So before I just proceed to create a table, you need to first specify like what exactly the kind of database or which database you want to use. Like, so for that you have to use this use command, and it is not a part of like any of the DML or DQL query, right? This is just a part of SQL statement. So you have to just write this: I am using this GBU, and you know that now I have created this database with the name of like the capital alphabet uppercase, but I am using this as a lowercase, right? So I can just simply say that SQL is a case insensitive language, so I can use it on either way, right? So use GBU, that I have used this databases. Now I have to write this create table command, which is like create table and followed by the table name. You had to specify the table name as well. So you can give the table name like this: I want to create a employee details tables. Okay. You don't need to worry about like as a business analyst, is it mandatory to learn all these things? No. This is just a concept you need to take, like you need to understand the overview of all these concepts, right? Create table employee details, and then you have to specify the column schemas, right? The column schemas are like the column name or the table structure, right? So what I'll do, I'll just simply hit enter, and first of all you need to specify the column name, and you must ensure that every table must contain a primary key. So you have to give like this: okay, let me write my first column name as an employee ID with the data type you have to specify, right? There is a constraint in every like RDBMS that you are using or with the SQL language. If you're giving any column name, you have to specify the data type as well. Like it's just kind of like a data validation. You are specifying that this employee ID should only contain the integer value, not the varchar or the nvarchar kind of value, right? It cannot contain the date data type. It can only contain the integer data type. And because we are referring this employee ID as a primary key, so you have to specifically write about this. Okay, this employee ID is my primary key. This primary key is a constraint. A constraint is what? It's just a boundary that you are applying over the employee ID, that it cannot contain a duplicate value or it cannot contain a null value, right? So this is the first column that we have created. Now what about the second column? You can just simply write the employee full name, right? The employee full name going to be the textual data type. You can simply write the text as well. But if when we generally work with the like SQL, we need to write this with the varchar statement. The varchar is like the variable character, and variable character with the length that you can give. Here we are referring to 255 is the genuine value that I can give. It represent, and I can give also 100 like this. It represent that the full name length can be 100, right? Let me give the salary as well. The salary could be like related to float data type, and then you can give the department as well. Department can be like the varchar, and you know that the varchar length could be like the 50 in nature. Then you have to give the address column, and what I want that the address could be like 100 in nature as well, right? Now what about the department? Okay, the department that he or she is working on is good. Salary is there, address is there, like full name. And let me give the project that he or she or any employee is working on, and again the project is a column name, the varchar is a data type, and let me just write the varchar length with 100, right? Now you just need to close the bracket and just hit this in like the terminator. This is like the semicolon. Now what you have to do, you can just simply select all these statement. This can be represented by a, like the SQL set of block or queries. It is a SQL block of queries, right? And if you want to execute all these query, you can hit a keyboard shortcut which is like the control enter, and you can do additional thing that you can select the complete query and use this execute button, right? If you got this green tick, it represents that you have successfully created a table. Now what you want to do, you want to just show what exactly my table's structure look like, so you have to write this select command. And now just let me show you, this select command belongs to dql, and it represents that dql means you are querying something, so it can be represented by a data query language. And in most of the cases you have to use this select statement, right? Select is referred by this like star column. Star represent that you are calling all the columns, and from where, then after from you need to write this the table name, right? So I want select star yani that give me all data from where, from employee details. Now terminate this statement, you can select this and run with the execute query, like the execute icon that we have. It represent, okay, we have in this table we have this all the column structure. Now what I want to insert the data, right? So for that I need to write this insert statement and insert query. So for if you want to insert the rows, it should be it should be like you can insert the multiple or the bulk rows as well. But when you work as a business analyst or a data analyst, like very rarely you have to insert the data, right? Because it was already inserted by the developer or like by any other, like the worker or the employer, right? So insert into, we want to insert into what, we want to insert into employee details. What we want to insert, we want to insert some values. What exactly that values, that values is a, just nothing, a collection of multiple columns values, right? It's like just a first row value. So first of all I need to give the employee id. The employee id is like 1, then followed by the comma, then the second column name is a full name. You need to write the complete full name. Let me write this as a Harry Sharma, right? Then again followed by the salary, you can give the salary like this. And then the department is like the IT department is working on, and the address, he belongs to Noida, and the project he's working on a website, right? So in this way you can like particularly insert a one single row. But what in case if you want to insert multiple rows, so let me just copy this, then comma paste, comma paste, and comma paste, and comma paste. I have pasted it 5 times, 4 times, and let me just do some changes. 1 2 3 4 5. This one, like my employee IDs, you can give like the name as well, Gaurav Mishra. The third one is like Ajay Bagga. The fourth one is like Deepak Deepak Sharma, right? Deepak Sharma. And the fifth one is like Ritik Ritik Kumar, right? And you can,
Ankit,
yes, any question related to this?
yes,
Anyone?
yes,
Huh,
yes,
yes, sir.
yes.
Yes, sir. Let me know. But
Where did we specify that the name is alphabetic and this
okay,
employee
this
ID is
one, this
numeric?
one.
Did we specify
Yeah,
somewhere?
yeah. We have to specify this while we are creating the table, right? So
Okay.
we have used this query, right? The create table and followed by the table name, and we have to give the column name with the data type. This is the data type that we have used.
One more thing, before creating table, you use GBU.
Yeah,
I
it
mean, what was
represent,
the name of table? Is
no,
it GBU or employee details?
it represents that we are using this database is like just a room or just a building that we, if we want to organize any party, we need to use this building now. So if I want to create any table inside this databases, so first of all I need to use this, right? So I am
Okay.
referring this as a, we are going to use this databases, and whatever we are further doing with this databases, like with creating table, inserting data, it should be inside this database only.
So
Big,
that is a
huh,
kind of folder where all the
huh,
database would be stored.
where all the like, yeah, that is a kind of folder where you can store any tables, right?
Any
And
table.
yeah, and we have a multiple folders, and in generally we refer this folder as a databases, right? And
Okay.
right
So
now
we
we
have
are using
created
this
a table.
GBU as a database.
We
Sorry.
have created a table, employee details, where
Right.
we have number of columns. One column is this employee ID, which is a
Right.
primary key. Primary key means that there should not be any duplicacy.
Right.
Okay. And then full name, which is varchar type
The
and
varchar is like the variable character, and it
and
can vary their length up to 100 characters,
cannot
right?
be more than 100 characters.
Yeah, it cannot go beyond 100, right? It can be
100.
0, but it cannot go beyond 100, right?
Salary is float type. Float means
You
the
can
decimal. It
decimal
will
value.
also, in accommodate the decimal. But beyond decimal, how many places that you didn't specify?
No, not specifically required. It can store up to like any places. So because we are referring this as a float value, now float generally refer this as a like the decimal data point. If you want to specify this, you need to use the decimal one, right? And then you
Hmm.
can further refer this. Oh, okay, I want up to like the 5 places or the 10 places and on, right? Okay.
Okay, okay.
It just like
Now,
you are altering the data, but right now I have already used this float, so I can use this, right?
so now you are entering the data
Right. Yes.
under all these heads.
Yes. All these
Oh,
are like my headers, and
they are
headers is
headers.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, all these are my headers. We can represent it like this as a column name, and we are inserting this data in a sequence and make sure that this first is the employee ID na, so we should like enter this in just a first value, specific value, right? Then followed by the full name, which is like employee name, and then their corresponding salary, department, address, and project. If somehow like I can reshuffle this, so this could be the problem related to my table, because it will try to insert the data in a sequence. If I just like refer this as a website, let me just do this, right? Instead of IT, and instead of giving the address, let me just write this as a website. It was like just like by mistake, right? And let me refer this as a Noida or Greater Noida, right? So now it will try to insert the website inside the address. So we have to very make sure ki we should refer the column in a sequence. Otherwise it would be like it can go in any sequence, whatever the sequence that you have given, right? उस बिल्कुल सेम वैसे इंसर्ट होगा जैसा हमने लिखा है सीक्वेंस में. Got
Okay,
it?
okay. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, sir. So now let me just change some values. Like the salary could be like this, and let me just write like this. Okay. Do some changes with the department, HR, admin, and let me do this with the sales one, and let me repeat the same with the IT one, right? Now Noida and Delhi and the Greater Noida. Okay, let me write this as a Greater Noida. Then again the Noida itself, and let me keep this same, right? Website. ये मैं जानबूझ के कर रहा हूँ. Okay. So here we are working on app project. Here we are working on like the software, and again the website, and by mistake it is like the Greater Noida. Okay. Let me just change this to website to like the data analyst project. Okay. Okay, data analyst project, right? Now I have the 5 rows values, and it, as of now, I need to insert this, right? If I don't run this query, let me just check. Select star from employee details. I have only the header's name. Now, if I just run all these queries, it will try to insert the 5 rows, right? And you cannot insert the same rows again, because we know that employee ID 1 has already been inserted. So you cannot insert the same again, right? Let me just run this. You can use shortcut also, control enter, right? So you have inserted the 5 rows, and it shows 5 rows affected with the zero duplicacy and with the zero warning, right? Now let me just try to check my overall table structure, and if you just run this select star from employee detail, it should show the overall data inside the database or the table. And if you just run this, here is your data, right? The first employee ID Harry Sharma, and sort like this, yes, fifth one is Ritik Kumar with the salary and the, like you can see now, like by mistake it is like website inside the address, and the project like the Greater Noida inside the project, right? So you have to very make sure, or like the data analyst or any SQL developer need to make sure ki they cannot like they should not insert the wrong values, and they should mention the sequence, right? Now if I just try to reinsert the same data, I know that I have considered the first column as a primary column. It will return an error, and you can just say you can just see here we are getting duplicate entry for 1, and if we are getting duplicate entry for 1, it will repeat the same error for 2 as well, 3 as well, and 4 as well. And if you just run this, you will check ki this should be only the 5 data that we have inserted before running this the queries, like before running this query again, right? So it's like ki I cannot particularly insert the same employee ID. I can insert the rest of the values, but I cannot refer the same employee ID. Now let me just change this to 11 21, 31, and the 14 one and the 15 one. Now I can insert all these data again. And if I just run this, you will check, okay, 5 rows affected. And if you just run this, select star from employee details, this will give you the complete data. Yes or no? Any doubt related to this? Anyone? See, there might be possibility, na Gaurav Misra, like in any XYZ company, there can be multiple Gaurav Misra, but the thing is that na ki they have their different employee ID, and that's why we are considering this employee ID as a primary key. We have multiple Gaurav Kumar, we have Ritik Kumar as well, right? But they should have their like different employee IDs now. Any question related to this? Any doubt? Okay, now can I store this or can I export this data? I have created this data inside MySQL. Can I export this data into a CSV or Excel format? Yes, I can do. You have to just simply click on this export, like there is an icon which is floppy kind of disk. You can just simply click on this and make sure you can only import and export data in CSV format, not in XLX format. Excel is my binary software file and CSV is my textual file. So in every RDBMS or in most of the RDBMS, you can only import and export data in CSV format. CSV is like the comma separated values format. Okay, you cannot use Excel directly. Now, let me just save this data or this export data inside desktop with the name of GBU GBU underscore employee EMP underscore details and save as type by CSV. You no need to change this type, right? It is by default the CSV. Just simply click on this save. Now you have saved and you have successfully exported this data. Let me just go to desktop and you can simply check here is the data like GBU employee detail. You can just simply go to the properties and cross verify like this is the same data that created just now, right? So you can just check the created date is of like 24th of April and it's close to 318, right? And let me just open this data, and this is the same data that we have successfully created using the MySQL, and now we can like particularly explore the same data using Excel as well, right? But we know that that data is stored inside in a CSV format. Okay, so being a developer you need to understand how to particularly connect your different software in a different scenarios, right? You can get data from Excel to MySQL, and again back you can get data to MySQL to Excel as well. You can connect this data to like Excel to Google Looker Studio. You can connect this data to Power BI as well. You can connect this data to website as well, and you can again get back the same data in Excel as well from any of the software, right? I can get back the data from MySQL to Excel as well, Microsoft SQL Server to Excel as well, right? So in this way we have created this data. So any doubt related to this, just let me know. Anyone? Any faculties? Dr. Divya ma'am, Satish sir, Dr. Madan sir, Dr. Varsha ma'am, anyone? Any doubt related to this? Okay. Now we successfully understood the concept how to create a table, how to create a database, how to like insert the values or the number of rows inside any table what we have. Now the very basic questions that the person generally asks is like, is it like we have to manually write all these things? No, it's not like that. We have a software, and like this is the query that we generally need to understand. We don't need to write it all manually. We have a team that can particularly use the software to automate this, and that values can be inserted automatically. You just need to understand, okay, with the help of this we can insert the data inside any table, right? You no need to write all this manually, right? Why we have like particularly inserted all this manually? Because we want to understand, okay, these are the concept, right? Now let me show you the four different concepts that the business analyst or any analyst needs to understand when it comes to databases concept. That concept is referred by as a CRUD operation. The this is the CRUD, not the curd, right? ये मेरा दही नहीं है. This is the CRUD operation. It's not a curd. So CRUD is like C represent the create command. I can use create to create any databases, any table, right? U is like my update command. If I want to update any data, I have to use this update query or update command, right? the second should be the R represent is like the read command, and there is no such read command in MySQL. You can only read data using the select statement. This is just like the contradictory. Here we are referring, but here we are using this select statement. This read status can be only achieved by the select query, right? So C can be like same, but R is like the read, and we have to if we want to read the data, we have to use the select statement, right? Now the third one is U represent the update, right? If we want to change any existing data, we need to use this update query or update command. And the fourth one is like the D, and D is like the delete or the drop statement. You can delete your data, you can delete your table, you can delete your databases as well, right? So you need to understand this delete and drop statement. Both delete and drop statements are like work in a different way, they are not same, right? So CRUD represent create, select, update and delete. Any doubt related to this, anyone? No. Now we understood how to create a table, how to insert a records. We have also used this select statement. Now let me just explore the select statement, right? So what exactly the select statement is? So you can, if you want to just view your data, so you can just simply write select star, star represent all columns, and you want to get all data from where? Employee details, right? Let me just copy this and run this, right? Select this and run this. This is the data. Suppose Dr. Satisha, you don't want to like particularly view all the columns. Suppose you are like interested only for full name and their corresponding salary, right? So you just need to give just remove this star and you can give the column name. The first column name is full name. Make sure the spells correct, and you can use any lowercase or uppercase. There is no problem related to this, right? Then use comma and give the another column name which is like the salary. And if you just run this, so it will only give you the two column which is like the full name and the salary. Now imagine the situation, you are getting like the thousand of columns and you don't want to use all the columns for further analysis. You can just simply write down the individual column what exactly you want, and you can get the same data, yes or no, right? So this select statement gives you the control so that you can control your required column and whatever like as per the requirement, right? So now if I just want to call all column, you can use a star. If I want to call individual column, you have to write the specific name, right? So suppose I don't know the specific name, right? So what you have to do in that case, just simply write select star from your table name and then give this table name as temporary name. So I am referring this employee details as a E. E is a like the aliasing or a representation of this complete table name. Now instead of this star, you can say go to E. E is my that like E is my the alias name. Alias name is the temporary name of this employee details, right? Now what you have to do, just simply write E dot and it will give you the suggestion. Right now it's not giving you the suggestion, but it will give you the suggestion like inside E you have all these columns. Let me just write full name. It should give me the suggestion, but right now it's not giving. So no issue. You can just write E dot full name. E dot full name means E ka full name call karo, and E dot salary means go to E table and call salary, and E dot department means go to E table and call department column. Now what exactly this E? This E is a employee detail. So you can run the query in this way also, and there is a shortcut to run this query which is like control enter, and if you just run this query you will get the full name, salary and department. Now the question is like, can you just arrange the order of this column? Yes, there is no such like problem related to this. What you have to do, just simply rearrange the values, right? Suppose you want to first call the department, then followed by the full name, and then followed by the salary, E dot salary, and just run this control enter, and it will give you the sequential data like the department, full name and the salary. I don't think there is any doubt related to this, yes or no? Now you can use the aggregation approach as well. Suppose you want to check the overall expenses of your company, you want to calculate the sum of all salary. So sum is a function, average is a function that you can use, right? You can use the minimum function, you can use the maximum function, right? All these are like my aggregation functions, so you can use any one of them, right? We have multiple aggregation functions also, standard variation, standard deviation, and variance as well, right? Suppose now I want to check the overall expense of my companies, which is like sum of all the salaries. So I can, again I have to write this select statement, then followed by the sum function, and just write from your table name, right? Employee details. Now, what exactly you want to sum up? So, in this sum function, you need to specifically write the column name. Here we are like interested in sum of all salaries. So, inside this sum function, write the salary name. Then just simply terminate this query, select the complete statement, and run this, and it will give you the complete expenses, which is like 4 lakh 7,892. This is the overall expense, and you can give, right now you are particularly seeing the column name as a sum of salary. You need to write this as is like you are referring this column as a temporary name, and you are giving this temporary name as a total salary, right? Total salary. And if you just run this, you will get the complete column name or the header, which is like the total salary. It's not like कि आप यही लिखे, you can write anything like sum of all salary, and it should give the same answer, sum of all salaries, yes, no? So instead of writing this, let me just write total underscore salary. So any doubt related
अंकित
to
जी,
this? Yes sir, bataiye.
अंकित जी, ये जो आपने लिखा है सम सैलरी,
Right.
when we are using this formula sum, so do we have to type salary or it can auto generate, or we you know
No,
copy paste?
we need to specifically give the column name. See, we have multiple numerical column, right? उसमें से हमें बताना पड़ेगा like exactly which column we want to sum up. Suppose we have
नहीं नहीं,
like, हाँ,
कॉलम को सम अप करने के लिए जब हम कॉलम को स्पेसिफाई करते हैं,
right.
एक्सेल में तो ऑटो जनरेट हो जाता है, या हम उस सेल को उठा सेलेक्ट कर लेते हैं, तो इसमें हमें पूरा टाइप करना पड़ेगा।
Yeah, we have to type the complete name, right? And that's why ना I was referring कि इसको हम एक नाम दे सकते हैं, but the thing is that it's not working right now. So
अच्छा,
it should be like कि मैं जैसे e डॉट लिखूंगा ना, it should give me the complete hint कि e के अंदर क्या क्या है, and
हाँ
I
हाँ,
can refer this as a e
दैट
dot
वाज
salary.
आई वाज लुकिंग फॉर, ओके।
हाँ, वो एक्चुअली अभी आई थिंक देयर माइट बी सम इश्यूज रिलेटेड टू दिस, बट
हम्म,
जैसे ही मैं ई डॉट लिखूंगा, इट शुड गिव मी द रेफरेंस, एंड देन उसके बेस पे आई विल सिलेक्ट लाइक विच कॉलम आई वांट टू कॉल, राइट? ई
ओके ओके।
ई का कौन सा कॉलम? अदरवाइज देयर इज अ प्रॉब्लम, वी कुड हैव लाइक थाउजेंड्स ऑफ कॉलम, हम सारा तो नहीं देख पाएंगे एक
तो
बार
या
में, राइट? है ना? राइट।
ओके।
सो द थिंग इज दैट कि वी कैन यूज एनी ऑफ द एग्रीगेशन फंक्शन, हम कोई भी इसमें से कॉल कर सकते हैं। नाउ लेट मी जस्ट कॉपी द सेम क्वेरी। सपोज आई वांट टू चेक।
Ankit ji,
जी मैम।
I have a question.
यस मैम।
Suppose I am taking this sum of the salary
ओके।
and I am putting it in my balance sheet.
ओके।
तो इन केस अगर मैंने सैलरी फिगर्स में कोई फिगर चेंज किया,
राइट।
तो क्या ऑटोमेटिकली वहां पर भी टोटल चेंज हो जाएगा?
No, it's not like that, because the thing is कि this databases has their like individual identity. It's not like live connected to the excel table, अभी excel से live नहीं connected है, okay? So any
अच्छा।
change in this data like cannot be reflected directly here, because the thing is that कि ये final concept है, database is the final thing. Excel
हम्म।
may be like we need to pull data from Excel as well, and you can just check कि Excel, maybe there is a concept which is like data and get data, and we can get data
हम्म।
from any of the sources, right? So if you want कि अगर मैं यहाँ कुछ change करूँ and it should reflect here, so वो ऐसा नहीं होगा। हाँ, बट यहाँ कुछ चेंज होगा, सो इसके बेसिस पर जहाँ भी ये कनेक्टेड है लाइक द पावर बी आई और एक्सेल, वहाँ पर चेंज हो जाएगा, बिकॉज दिस इज द फाइनल थिंग ना, ये डेटाबेस है। डेटाबेस में मैनुअली हमें चेंजेस करना पड़ता है, इट्स लाइक द बैंकिंग डेटाबेस। सो बैंकिंग डेटाबेस में एडमिन परमिशंस की रिक्वायरमेंट होगी टू नीड टू डू सम एनी चेंजेस मैनुअली, राइट?
हम्म।
ठीक है, आई थिंक
ठीक है,
सॉर्टेड, ये
थैंक
क्लियर है मैम?
यू। जी जी।
ओके, गॉट इट। So now we can like use different aggregation functions also. मैं sum use कर सकता हूँ, average use कर सकता हूँ, the minimum, maximum, standard deviation and variance as well, right? Suppose I want to calculate all aggregation function in just one go. So there is a requirement of a SQL developer ना, वो यही सब काम करता है, और a data analyst also. They need to write down all the queries. उसका यही काम है, उसी के लिए पे हो रहा है वो, right? So let me just write now how to do this. So first of all, let me just remove this aliasing. फर्स्ट आई विल डू कि मुझे सम चाहिए सैलरी का, आई कैन यूज द मिनिमम एज वेल, e dot salary, e represent my table name, right? Then just hit enter, or you can use the control b, b represent Bombay. The Bombay like is like it will automatically format your query, right? वो अपने आप लोअर केस अपर केस चेंज कर लेगा. दिस इज द फॉर्मेटिंग ऑफ SQL स्टेटमेंट. So here we are using sum function for e dot salary, minimum function for e table with salary column name. The third thing is you can call the maximum one like e dot salary. You can call the average one also of what e dot salary. And with the help of this statement or SQL query, you can get the complete detail of your salary. It's like the statistical analysis of salary column कि सैलरी का टोटल ये है, सैलरी का मिनिमम इज दिस, सैलरी में मैक्सिमम इतना है, सैलरी में एवरेज इतना है, बस. बट किसका है, हु इज गेटिंग द मिनिमम सैलरी, विच वन इज एट लाइक द हाईएस्ट सैलरी, वो सब नहीं पता लग रहा है. वी नीड टू राइट द SQL क्वेरी फॉर दिस एज वेल, राइट? बट अभी हम वी आर जस्ट लाइक रेफरिंग एज अ एग्रीगेशन की अभी एग्रीगेशन क्या रिजल्ट आ रहा है. नाउ यू नो दैट ना वी आर गेटिंग डिफरेंट डिफरेंट कॉलम नेम. सो दैट्स वाई इट्स रिकमेंडेड टू गिव द एलियासिंग कि आई विल रिफर दिस सम डॉट ई सैलरी को मैं एज अ टोटल सैलरी रिफर करूंगा, राइट? TOTAL. I will refer this as a minimum salary as min salary, right? And let me write this maximum salary as maximum salary. This is just like my temporary column name, right? And as average salary. Now if you just hit control enter, this is the best way to write कि आप सारे aggregation एक साथ एक एक करके नीचे लिखेंगे. Then call this table name with the like temporary aliasing and run this, and you are getting this answer like total salary is this, minimum is this, maximum is this, and average is this. Now the best part is कि अब अगर इस टेबल में कुछ भी changes आते हैं, it will try to give you the updated data. This is the best case or best requirement. And if there
अच्छा,
is हाँ,
एज
yes,
ई लिखा है आपने, एज ई,
right.
व्हाट इज ई?
E is a temporary name of this table because in
ओके.
real environment we could have like बहुत बड़ा नाम हो सकता है, like 100 200 वर्ड का नाम रहता है टेबल का. So I cannot particularly write the table name again and again again and again. So मैंने इसको बोल दिया employee details को I will temporarily refer this as a E, right? Now E is like कि go and give sum of E नाम के टेबल का सैलरी कॉलम का. So it will try to figure out E is a table name and E का मुझे इस कॉलम का सम करना है, right? And give the temporary name as total salary. So this is the total salary, right? If I want to export this again, you need to click on this and ये data आपके पास Excel में आ जाएगा. See, the main purpose of this MySQL or any databases is to analyze the complex data. What kind of complex data that cannot be open inside Excel, because we know that Excel का 10 lakh का limit है. I'll give you कि वो कैसे होगा. I have this one data which is like the big data जो 20 lakhs of record है मेरे पास, and वो Excel में open ही नहीं हो सकता. I need to import the same data. वो databases में मंगाएंगे, यहाँ पर analyze करेंगे and उसको फिर finally Excel में export कर लेंगे. That's why it is required, right? I think ये clear है how to use the aggregation functions and all with like individual column. And we know that ना we have created this table. ये table कहीं से आया नहीं है, ये table हमने बनाया. Select star from employee details, right? Okay, now the question could be related to this. I want to check कि which department, what exactly my expenses are. I want to check the expenses based on my department. Yes or no? So for that, I need to use a concept which is called the group by concept, right? The group by is like जैसे IT डिपार्टमेंट है, so मैं IT के सारे सैलरी को मैं सम कर दूं, IT हेयर, IT एयर. इट्स लाइक पाइवटिंग ऑफ अ टेबल जो लाइक वी जनरली डू इन एक्सेल. पाइवट बनाते हैं ना, लाइक अ पाइवट काइंड ऑफ टेबल कि IT का सारे सैलरी का सम कर लिया, लाइक एडमिन का एंड सेल्स का. बट वी नीड टू डू दिस विद द हेल्प ऑफ ग्रुप बाय जब हम SQL पे काम करेंगे. नाउ हाउ टू डू दिस? So the question is, I want to check the expenses with expenses by department, right? Give total salary expenses by department. This is the requirement, right? Now how to do this and achieve the answer? So you have to write select, then based on which column you want to group your data, right? I want to group my data based on department. So मैं department column का नाम, table का नाम, sorry, column name call कर लूँगा, right? Now What exactly I want to sum up total salary. So I will write the sum function कि just give me the sum of salary. Sum of salary किसका, ये सारा डेटा कहाँ से आना चाहिए? I want all data from employee details, right? But the thing is that you cannot run this query. It look like good, it shows blue tick का मतलब है कि ये query सही है, but logically ये गलत है. If you just run this, it will say कि you have to use the group by concept. Here you can see that, right? You are using aggregation function. अगर मैं किसी कॉलम के साथ aggregation function use कर रहा हूँ, I need to use this group by concept, right? Now how to use this? Very easy one. Group by, group by based on what? I want to group by data based on department. Now if you just run this is a perfect query, and this is the answer that you are getting कि IT डिपार्टमेंट में टोटल सैलरी कितना है? इट्स लाइक 93,824. HR डिपार्टमेंट में, लेट मी यूज द मैग्नीफायर, राइट? सो यू विल गेट द आंसर लाइक दिस. IT का एक्सपेंस इतना, HR का एक्सपेंस इतना, एडमिन का इतना, एंड सेल्स का इतना. बट द प्रॉब्लम इज दैट you know that na कि the column name you are getting is the sum of salary. So that's why na you have used the aliasing concept, right? And you can give the temporary name. You are referring this sum of salary as a total expense. Yes or no? I can give the column name like this and run this with the keyboard shortcut like control enter, and this will give you the data department and total expense. Suppose you want this department in capital, like capital case or like upper case. So because we know that SQL is case insensitive, it doesn't matter कि आप कैसे लिख रहे हैं, आप ऐसे भी लिख सकते हैं, आप ऐसे भी लिख सकते हैं. You will get the complete answer, right? And here you can check the department is like this and the total expense. Yes or no? Any doubt? Now suppose you want to check which one is like having the most expense in the department. यहाँ पर सबसे ज़्यादा किसका दिख रहा है? It's like admin, but you want to get the answer using the query, right? So let me copy the same query, and I want to check most expensive department. Most expensive department. Here I can refer the most expensive department is admin. Admin का ही काम है like expense को control करना, but this is again the most expensive department. Now how to get the same answer by using query, right? So first of all you need to sort this data in descending order, right? And you cannot do it you cannot do this manually, although you can do this, but it is not recommended, right? So I want to sort this data. So you have to write the order by concept. The order by is like you are ordering the data by ascending or descending order. Based on what column? आप किस column के base पे इस data को sort कर रहे हैं? You want to sort the data based on total expense. You know that ना कि इस total expense के base पे I want to sort my data. By default, it sort data in ascending order. If you just run this, it will sort data in ascending order, and it say कि the sales has the lowest expense in entire department and admin has the highest one, right? If you don't write this ASC is like ascending order, it will by default sort data in ascending order. You will get the same answer. देखिए मैंने ascending नहीं लिखा था तो भी same answer आ रहा था. If I am writing the ascending तो भी सेम आंसर आ रहा है मेरा. वाई? बिकॉज दिस ऑर्डर बाय यूजेस द बाय डिफॉल्ट ऑर्डर एज अ असेंडिंग ऑर्डर, राइट? नाउ द क्वेश्चन वॉज आई वॉन्ट टू डेटा सॉर्टेड इन डिसेंडिंग ऑर्डर. So just write this descending and you will get the admin as a top answer. Yes or no? Am I right? Now you want the most expensive department. Now, well, this is the perfect answer, right? You can just simply refer this admin and say कि admin has the like highest expense, right? But the answer I should only need the first one answer जो पहला है मुझे वही चाहिए. And here you can use the limit approach. The limit is like you can just after writing the complete query, you can write like this limit. I want to limit out my result, and you can just say I want only top result. So जैसे हमने Python में head use किया था ना, I can use the limit as well. If you want top 2 result, you can write like this limit 2 and just select the query and run this, and it will give you the 2 rows only, ऊपर के 2 rows. If you want to get the top rows only, you can just simply write limit 1, and this will give you the first rows only. Yes or no? Now you can say that na कि this is the highest expensive like department that I have inside my employees data. Yes or no? So just imagine the situation if you are having like very complex data, billions of data, and you can group out all your data with all these kind of queries. And here you are doing the same thing. And now you can summarize your complex data into a simpler one with the help of SQL queries. And that is the benefit of using any databases or any like the SQL concept. Okay, any doubt related to this? बताइए sir, ma'am, कुछ पूछना आपको? Anyone?
नहीं सर.
Clear है? Okay, so the thing is that i- is it like, do I need to mug up all these queries, or do I need to further like learn all these query? No, it is like very simple one. Just believe me, because we have like very like specific time ना, तो इसलिए मुझे ये थोड़ा फास्ट बताना पड़ रहा है. बट बिलीव मी, इट ओनली रिक्वायर्स 10 to 15 hours ऑफ डिटेल स्टडी. उससे ज़्यादा की आपको ज़रूरत नहीं है. You will get the complete idea of how exactly to like how to use the databases and how to get insight using the SQL and MySQL concept. 15 से 20 घंटे से ज़्यादा की रिक्वायरमेंट नहीं है, राइट? So in this way, I can analyze my data using the SQL query, and the SQL developer or like the data analyst, the data scientist, they need to write all these queries. Now, Satish sir, doctors,
Ji,
okay,
yes.
can we connect to? Okay, yes sir. The question is like this. See, we have now multiple databases, right? And I can
Hmm.
toggle between any databases. Right now, I am in GBU. You can just check ki here it represents GBU in green color, right? And here also in black color. And we have multiple. ये आपको नहीं शो होगा, but like because मैं बहुत टाइम से इसे
आपने
यूज कर
अपनी
रहा हूँ,
स्क्रीन को
अपने
जूम
बनाया
किया
मैंने, राइट.
अंकित जी, आपने स्क्रीन को जूम किया होगा, थोड़ा सा इसे नॉर्मल व्यू में लेकर आइए।
आई थिंक सर मैंने जूम आउट हटा दिया है. जस्ट डू वन थिंग, आप जूम आउट करो मीटिंग को माउस पैड का यूज़ करके या स्क्रॉलर का, या लेट मी जस्ट शेयर दिस अगेन. राइट, आई थिंक अभी दिख रहा है यहाँ पर, ऑल दीज
हाँ
आर
हाँ,
डेटाबेसेस, राइट. ओके,
यस।
नाउ वी हैव दिस डेटाबेस विच इज़ लाइक वर्ल्ड नाम का डेटाबेस है. ओके, नाउ व्हाट आई वांट, सी आई नो दैट ना कि इफ़ आई हैव मल्टीपल डेटाबेसेस, मैं बार बार यूज़ तो नहीं लिख सकता. सपोज इन केस आई एम हैविंग लाइक थाउजेंड्स ऑफ डेटाबेसेस, तो मैं बार बार यूज़ करके यूज़ करूँगा तो मैं बार बार यूज़ ही लिखते रह जाऊँगा, राइट? यूज़ वर्ल्ड, यूज़ GBU, यूज़ सकीला, यूज़ नोएडा, यूज़ माई SQL, बार बार यूज़ लिखते रह जाऊँगा, राइट? सो इट्स रिकमेंडेड इफ़ यू वांट टू कॉल एनी टेबल ऑफ एनी डेटाबेसेस. सपोज मैं वर्ल्ड के अंदर गया, एंड इनसाइड वर्ल्ड वी हैव दिस टेबल्स, and inside table we have multiple tables, right? We have this table the name with country, yes or no? So
यस।
इस वर्ल्ड डेटाबेस के अंदर वी हैव दिस टेबल विद द नेम इज कंट्री. नाउ आई वांट टू डायरेक्टली कॉल दिस टेबल. सो उसके लिए मैं लिखूंगा सिलेक्ट स्टार फ्रॉम वेयर आई वांट टू गेट डेटा. आई वांट टू गेट डेटा फ्रॉम वर्ल्ड. वर्ल्ड इज व्हाट? वर्ल्ड इज माय डेटाबेस नेम. So if you want to get any data from any databases, you need to first specify the database name. Then you can just give your table name as well, and this will give you the prompt as well. ये देखिए हिंट आ रहा है कि वर्ल्ड का कौन सा टेबल मंगाना है मुझे, राइट? आई वॉन्ट वर्ल्ड का कंट्री. आई कैन जस्ट सिंपली क्लिक दिस वर्ल्ड का कंट्री, टर्मिनेट दिस स्टेटमेंट एंड रन दिस, एंड यू कैन गेट दी वर्ल्ड डॉट कंट्री डेटा. आ गया ना?
यस।
मैंने यूज वर्ल्ड नहीं किया था. सो नाउ if we are practically working, there is no requirement of using this database again and again. I can toggle between any databases of any table, and that's why ना this is like my RDBMS relational database है. मैं ये एक डेटाबेस से दूसरे डेटाबेस को भी मैं कनेक्ट कर सकता हूँ इफ आई एम हैविंग लाइक द कॉमन रिलेशनशिप बिटवीन टू टेबल्स, अगर दोनों है तो, राइट? दिस इज द पावर ऑफ दिस डेटाबेस कॉन्सेप्ट, राइट? नाउ द थिंग इज दैट, सर जस्ट लेट मी नो, आई हैव द कॉन्टिनेंट, मेरे पास मल्टीपल कॉन्टिनेंट्स है, एंड बेस्ड ऑन दैट corresponding population, yes or no?
यस।
Continent and the population. Now I want to sum up all the population of individual continent. Suppose जो नॉर्थ अमेरिका है, नॉर्थ अमेरिका का टोटल पॉपुलेशन कितना? आई जस्ट रियली वांट दिस कि एशिया का टोटल पॉपुलेशन कितना, यूरोप का टोटल पॉपुलेशन, विद द हेल्प ऑफ क्वेरी. So again we need to use the group by concept, right? So the group by is like, I will write select the first of all textual data कि किसके बेस पे group by करना. I will write continent. Select continent. Second, what I want to sum up all the population. So sum of population. Okay. From where I want all this data? From world dot country, right? I can simply write this कि ये सारा data मुझे world dot country से मंगाना है, but I know that कि if I just run any column और मैं aggregation मंगाऊं, so I have to use this group by concept. And मुझे किसके बेस पे ग्रुप बाय करना है? ग्रुप बाय यूजिंग द कॉन्टिनेंट. जस्ट सिंपली पेस्ट दिस एंड रन दिस विद द हेल्प ऑफ कंट्रोल एंटर, एंड हेयर यू आर गेटिंग योर आंसर कि नॉर्थ अमेरिका का सारे पॉपुलेशन का सम, एशिया का सारे पॉपुलेशन का सम, अफ्रीका, यूरोप, साउथ अमेरिका, ओशियाना एंड अंटार्कटिका. यस या नो? राइट. Perfect. You can give the temporary name as well कि it is like my total population, right? And just run this. So it says कि North America the total population is this, the Asia total population is this, Africa this, Antarctica 500, right? It should be 0 but मैंने कुछ changes किया था, that's why it's giving me the 500 value, right? Anyone any doubt? uh, Dr. Divya ma'am, Dr. Varsha ma'am, any doubt related to this?
It is clear, Ankit ji.
Okay, got it, ma'am. Now the thing is that suppose I want to statistically summarize this world data. So I have used this sum, right? Now what I'll do, let me just hit enter, press tab button so that it formulate like this. And again I will hit enter and I will use multiple aggregation. See मुझे population का minimum बता दो, right? And write this as a minimum population. Again give me the population का maximum one, right? And write this as maximum population. Why I am doing this ना, अभी आपको clear होगा. Again show me the average population and write this as a average population. Now if you just run this, you will get the complete statistical information of your continent. Now just imagine कि you are having very complex data and you will get the statistical analysis in just one go. नॉर्थ अमेरिका का टोटल पॉपुलेशन इतना है. नॉर्थ अमेरिका में है कोई जगह जहाँ पर मिनिमम पॉपुलेशन 7,000 है? आई डोंट नो बट अभी अभी डेटा के अकॉर्डिंग है. अफ्रीका में ऐसा कोई जगह है जहाँ पर पॉपुलेशन ज़ीरो है, राइट? अकॉर्डिंग टू दिस डेटा यस वी हैव अ ज़ीरो पॉपुलेशन इन अफ्रीका एज वेल, राइट? वो क्या है उसके लिए वी नीड टू यूज़ द वेयर क्लॉज. अफ्रीका में मैक्सिमम पॉपुलेशन इज दिस, अफ्रीका का एवरेज पॉपुलेशन इज दिस, ओशियाना का मिनिमम इज दिस, ओशियाना का टोटल इज दिस, ओशियाना का मैक्सिमम इज दिस एंड द एवरेज इज दिस. डोंट यू थिंक ये एक बार में स्टैटिस्टिकल एनालिसिस आ गया मेरे पास पूरा? बट द थिंग इज दैट कि आई नीड टू रन ऑल दिस क्वेरी ना, तभी ये आएगा मेरे पास, राइट? ओके. नाउ लेट मी जस्ट गिव यू, if I want to filter out my data, if I want to filter out my data, so we need to use the where clause. Okay, where with the help of where clause you can filter out your data in MySQL or any SQL databases, right? How? See, let me just again jump to employee detail, select star from employee detail is my employee table, right? Now I just want only data related to Noida address, right? So I need to use the where clause. So what I'll do, मैं इसे कॉपी करूँगा, पेस्ट इट एंड जस्ट सिंपली राइट कि सिलेक्ट स्टार फ्रॉम डेटा बट filter out this with the help of where, but give me where this column means this address, this column is equals to and write नोएडा. एंड इट डजेंट मैटर कि आप नोएडा कैसे लिख रहे हैं, आप नोएडा ऐसे लिख रहे हैं तो भी सारा नोएडा आएगा, आप नोएडा ऐसे लिख रहे हैं तो भी सारा नोएडा आएगा, एंड आप नोएडा ऐसे लिख रहे हैं तो भी पूरा नोएडा आएगा. वाई? बिकॉज दिस सीक्वल इज केस इनसेंसिटिव. यस या नो? एंड यू कैन जस्ट चेक कि देखिए मेरे पास नोएडा का डेटा आ गया. नाउ इमेजिन you have multiple data like 20 lakh 30 lakhs and you want to filter out the data based on some condition. So आप यहाँ filter करने के लिए where clause use कर सकते हैं like this. Okay, now I'll have only नोएडा data. मैं export करना चाहूँ तो इसे नोएडा डेटा के नाम पे एक्सपोर्ट कर सकता हूँ. यू कैन ऑल्सो से सर ये तो हम यहाँ भी कर सकते थे, इसमें क्या बड़ी बात है? इमेजिन द सिचुएशन ना कि डेटा एक्सेल में ओपन ही नहीं हो सकता, राइट? 50 lakhs ऑफ डेटा है, एंड 50 lakhs ऑफ डेटा में मेरे पे किसी का नोएडा का डेटा है, किसी का लाइक द ग्रेटर नोएडा का डेटा है, एंड कोई दिल्ली से है, एंड मुझे मल्टीपल शीट्स चाहिए, ऐसी शीट्स चाहिए जिसमें खाली नोएडा का डेटा हो, बट वो एक्सेल में ओपन ही नहीं हो सकता. सो कैसे करेंगे उसके लिए? उसके लिए वी विल यूज द डेटाबेस कॉन्सेप्ट और एसक्यूएल. यस या नो? राइट नाउ, can I filter out my data or like my records based on two or multiple conditions? Yes, हम multiple conditions पे भी या यहाँ पर like filter out कर सकते हैं. So use where with multiple conditions, right? I can use where with multiple condition as well. Suppose in Noida I just only want department with IT. So मैं इसको copy कर लूँगा. I know that कि this query gives me this data. एंड वट आई वॉन्ट कि भाई नोएडा का तो डेटा दिखा है बट आईटी डिपार्टमेंट का ही डेटा दिखा है मुझे. सो आई विल यूज एंड ऑपरेटर. इन एक्सेल वी हैव मल्टीपल ऑपरेटर्स लाइक एंड ऑपरेटर, और ऑपरेटर एंड नॉट ऑपरेटर. ऑल दीज ऑपरेटर्स आर लाइक लॉजिकल ऑपरेटर्स. So logical operators are like you can particularly filter out your data based on logical conditions, and logical operators irrespective of any programming language, it's only divided into three parts, which is like and operator, or operator and not operator. So and operator is like all condition must be satisfied, and or operator is like कोई भी एक condition satisfy है तो चलेगा, and not is like result को opposite कर देगा. I'll give you ये कैसे करेंगे, right? Sorry. राइट नाउ आई वॉन्ट कि मुझे नोएडा का डेटा दिखे एंड दे शुड बी फ्रॉम डिपार्टमेंट इज इक्वल्स टू आई टी का डेटा दिखे. नाउ वी नो दैट कि इन नोएडा वी हैव ओनली 2 person फ्रॉम आई टी बैकग्राउंड, विच इज लाइक हैरी शर्मा विथ एम्प्लॉय आई डी 1 एंड हैरी शर्मा विथ एम्प्लॉय आई डी 11. यस या नो? Just select this and run this, and you are getting the employee with having address Noida and with the IT department. Yes or no? So you know that na ki with the use of AND operator you can multiple filter out your data, right? Now suppose I want to get data. See, the power of SQL is कि अगर आपने ये पूरा query लिखा है and you know that inside this complete query ये क्वेरी भी एक अपने आप में कंप्लीट है. सो यू कैन रन पार्सल क्वेरी एज वेल इफ इट इज टेक्निकली करेक्ट, राइट? तो ये क्वेरी अपने आप में करेक्ट है, सो आई कैन रन दिस ऑल्सो, तो मुझे पूरा डेटा दिखा देगा, राइट? नाउ आई वॉन्ट द सेल नाउ आई वॉन्ट द लिस्ट ऑफ ऑल एम्प्लॉयज हु आर गेटिंग सैलरी लेस देन 40,000. दिस इज द क्वेश्चन. गेट एम्प्लॉयज लेस देन 40K with the salary, right? Get employee less than 40K. This is the requirement. So again what I have to do, select star from employee details. This one is like my table name, and I'll write very basic statement where the salary is less than is equals to, this is the comparison operator, right? Where the salary is less than is equals to what? 1 tens 100,000 10,000, and just run this, and it will give you the list of employees whose salary is less than 40K. You can run 30K as well, 30K पे भी चेक कर सकते हैं, and this will give you the data जिनका salary 30K से कम है, right? So this where clause is very important, right? You can use it for any filter condition, right? Suppose you want to get data like more than 30,000. So instead of less than, just simply use greater than with the 30,000, and this will give you the employees with greater than 30,000 salary. Suppose you want only like if they belongs to Noida, so you can just simply write and address is equals to Noida, and now this will give you the employees whose salary greater than 30,000 and belongs to Noida. So we have only two employees with the employee ID name like employee ID with 4 and the 14 which is like Deepak Sharma. वो हमने दो दो एम्प्लॉय को सेम टाइम पेस्ट किया था ना, दैट्स वाई वी आर गेटिंग लाइक दिस. ओके, so you know that with the help of where clause and operator we can filter out my data on multiple condition. Okay, any question related to this or any kind of assumptions or questions that you can ask? बताइए डॉक्टर सतीश सर, डॉक्टर मदन सर. ओके, व्हाट अबाउट द रेस्ट फैकल्टीज, लाइक वो मतलब कभी बात ही नहीं किया उन्होंने. दे ऑल वर लाइक समझ में आ रहा है कि मतलब ऊपर से जा रहा है? बताइए. Dr. Divya ma'am, Dr. Kavita ma'am. Hello. Okay, no issue. Dr. Satish sir, yes. Any doubt related to this?
No doubt.
Okay, sir.
Very easy.
Okay. Now, let me start how to particularly use the like operator. Like operator is very good, and we have the multiple operator as well. Now I will use the in operator, I will use the like operator, and then we'll start with the basic concept of like, uh, the joins concept. Okay, joins is also very important one. I can simply join my multiple tables, right? And we will do some like data analysis using MySQL. Okay, see, suppose this is the data, right? Select star from employee details. Now I want to get only employee having Delhi as an address and the Noida as an address. Like, so I will do select star from employee details where address not is equals to, I cannot write like this, okay, कि दिल्ली हो या आपका Noida view. I cannot write like this, okay? Where address is equals to Noida and Delhi. It will give me the error, right? So instead of this is equals to, just simply write this in. In is like the membership operator. It will check कि जहाँ जहाँ address Delhi or Noida होगा. This will give you the result, okay? So now you will get only the address related to Noida and Delhi. आपके पास उन्हीं employees का detail आएगा having address belongs to Noida and Delhi. And if you want to further filter out this, like just give me where salary greater than 30,000. So you can just simply write na, and salary greater than is equals to 30,000 like this. And now this will give you the list of employees having salary greater than 30,000 and belongs to Noida and Delhi. This one
So
is
we are
very easy.
using,
Huh.
so we are using in operator only when the condition relates to address.
No, the condition relates to like multiple data. Suppose we want to call employee from multiple departments कि HR के भी बंदे आ जाएं, sales के भी बंदे आ जाएं, right?
Mhm.
So I must write in operator in that case. Suppose you
Just
want,
like in
हाँ,
Excel, we have ifs, some ifs, or multiple ifs.
right, we can use, yeah, I can relate with the same one, but the in is like कि suppose you want to call employees from like आज मीटिंग है हमारा IT डिपार्टमेंट का, HR डिपार्टमेंट का एंड सेल्स डिपार्टमेंट का, उन सभी एम्प्लॉयज़ की मुझे लिस्ट चाहिए इफ आई वांट
हम्म,
दिस टाइप ऑफ डेटा. सो
मतलब
व्हाट
दो
आई डू,
इफ आ गए यहाँ पर, दो इफ
हाँ, सो दो
द
इफ
एड्रेस
आएगा,
इज गिवन, हाँ,
हाँ, बट
एंड द सैलरी.
right, right, but here we can simply use ki address in, and we can simply pass the list, right? कि not address, sorry, the department in, right? कि कौन कौन सा डिपार्टमेंट का मुझे डेटा चाहिए, आज किन की मीटिंग है, लाइक द फर्स्ट वन इज फ्रॉम आईटी, एंड आई नो दैट कि मैं किसी भी मतलब फॉर्म में आईटी लिख सकता हूँ, इट्स अ केस इनसेंसिटिव. द सेकेंड इज एचआर एंड द थर्ड इज सेल्स. नाउ इट विल गिव मी द डेटा रिलेटेड टू ऑल थ्री डिपार्टमेंट्स ओनली, आईटी, एचआर एंड सेल्स. एंड किसका नहीं आएगा, admin one, right? Admin के लोग मेरे को नहीं दिखेंगे. Yes या no? If you
Yes,
just
yes.
simply select this and run this, now you are getting the employees or list of employees from IT department, HR department, and sales department, right? If you
Mhm.
want to order by this data, you can order by this data as well. कि do one thing, कि order by this data with the like the department name, so that IT एक साथ दिख जाए, HR एक साथ दिख जाए, and sales एक साथ दिख जाए. So just simply write this order by department, and now this will give you HR एक तरफ, IT एक तरफ, and sales एक तरफ, and it is like ascending order. If you want sales पहले आ जाए, so make it descending, and now this will give you the descending data. Yes or no? So you
Yes.
can play with your data, and उसके लिए मुझे ये SQL query लिखना पड़ता है. And for data analyst or business analyst, we need to understand कि ये क्या है हमारा, यही concept, right? Now suppose you don't want to use this, कि मुझे ये तीन बंदे नहीं चाहिए, I want to get data from rest of the department, but they should not belongs to IT, HR, and sales department. Now, what about this case? So that's why now we have a not operator, right? Not operator, it's like reverse the result. Okay. Suppose I can just simply say where department not in. They should not belongs to this department. They should belongs to others department, but they should not be the part of this department. Now just simply run this. It will give you the only admin data. Suppose मैंने एच आर हटा दिया यहाँ से, नाउ आई विल गेट द डेटा not related to IT and sales department, and this will give me the data related to HR and admin department. So in this way we can use the not operator. Not is like just reversing the condition. We can reverse the condition, overall condition, right? Okay. So this where clause is very important. You can play with where clause. You can filter out multiple records, whatever the humongous or numerous amount of data you have. Okay. Let me just check. I have one database which is like the name is huge. Okay. Let me just open a control T with a new tab, and I will use this huge database. And let me just show you inside this huge, there is a data which is called the big data, right? अब आपको पता लगेगा. Let me use this big data. Select star from. I don't want to write huge, use huge as a database name. I can just simply say huge नाम के database में जाओ and call the big data and run this. Now I'll give you the answer. This huge data, this huge database and with the big table has like 20 lakhs of records, and we know that कि Excel का कितना limit है. The limitation is at like 10 lakh 48,000. It's like कि ये data Excel में open ही नहीं हो सकता. That much big and huge. So here you can see that na कि itself MySQL took more than like 8 seconds to fetch all the data. Yes or no? And you can just check how much rows it fetched. 20 lakhs of rows. Yes or no? Ones, tens, 100,000, 10,000. If you just want to cross verify this, you can just simply run the count function. Again, count is an aggregation function. So you can just simply say, I want to count my all data. So you can run like this. And if you just run this, it will try to run all the rows, and it will give you the values like ones, tens, 100,000, 10,000, lakh, 10 lakh, right? And you can say as total rows, and if you run this, it will give you the total rows that you are having is 20 lakhs of rows. Now I'll have some question related to this data. Okay. And being a business analyst or a data analyst, now how to figure out the answer using the SQL queries. Okay. And if it is required, I can pull the same data inside any BI tool and I can create a visual for the same, right? Just wait for a second. It's taking so much amount of time. Now I can just say कि मुझे, see, if I'll have like 20 lakhs of rows or 40 lakhs of rows, doesn't matter. Just show me the 50 rows only, right? 50 rows means backend में तो data है, but front end में it will only give you the 50 number of rows, right? Now the very best, like first basic question, how many unique region do I have, right? This is a very basic question. मेरे पास कितने unique region है? So what I'll do, I'll write select. If I just simply like run this, select region from where, from huge नाम के database में से big data में से. This will try to give me the list of each region, but I want the distinct region name. Okay. And let me just keep it to don't limit, and instead of region, what I'll write, I'll use the distinct word. So distinct word will try to figure out the unique data only. Okay. And if you just run this, it will try to run over the complete data, and it give you have only 7 specific region, right? आपके पास पूरे डेटा में बस 7 ही रीजन है. इट्स लाइक यू आर रिमूविंग द डुप्लीकेट्स. द ऑस्ट्रेलिया रीजन, एशिया रीजन, नॉर्थ अमेरिका रीजन, यूरोप रीजन, मिडल ईस्ट रीजन. यस या नो? नाउ यू नो दैट ना, ये बात तो पता ही नहीं थी हमें, बिकॉज डेटा इतना बड़ा वो कभी देख ही नहीं पाते हम एक्सेल में. यस या नो?
What
हाँ.
did you do this? Don't use, don't limit. What is this?
See, don't limit is like I want to run this query over the complete data and show me the
Okay.
complete data if I have, right? अगर
Hmm.
20 लाख है तो 20 लाख का सारा डेटा दिखाएगा, बट वी नो दैट ना कि सॉफ्टवेयर का भी कुछ लिमिट होता है, अदरवाइज वो टाइम ले लेगा. इफ आई विल कॉल 1 ट्रिलियन अमाउंट ऑफ डेटा तो वो चल तो जाएगा, बट वो टाइम लेगा, राइट? राइट नाउ इट्स ओनली 20 लाख ऑफ डेटा ना, तो इसलिए मैंने कहा डोंट लिमिट कर दो, मतलब दिखा दो जो भी है, राइट? एंड
मतलब पूरा
डिस्टिंग, हाँ,
दिखा दो,
पूरा दिखा दो. एंड
पूरा
पूरे
20
पे,
लाख डोंट
हाँ,
लिमिट.
हाँ, एंड 20 लाख पे मुझे बताओ कि इस रीजन में कितने यूनिक रीजन थे. नाउ आई विल फाइंड कि अच्छा 20 में तो बस 7 ही यूनिक रीजन थे. इट मीन्स यही 7 रीजन बार बार रिपीट हो रहे हैं. तो इन दिस वे यू कैन लाइक लाइक डू सम एनालिसिस कि अच्छा इसी 7 रीजन पे नाउ आई हैव टू फाइंड कि इन सब का सेल्स कितना था, वॉल्यूम कितना था. नाउ हाउ टू डू दिस? ओके, again run this. Okay, and see, instead of like toggling it manually, I will write like this. Just give me 10 data. Okay, limit 10 is like सारा run करो but मुझे 10 data ही दो. Okay, this will give you the 10 data. So like with the help of this you can just check the overview of a data. See, 10 देख सकते हैं, 5 देख सकते हैं. If you just ignore all this limit, it will give you the complete data. But practical situation में avoid करते हैं because we know that वो बहुत ज़्यादा time ले लेगा, right? So just wait for a minute, and now I'll have some question and I'll try to find the answer using the SQL queries, right? Okay. The first thing is we know that we counted this like we have a 7 distinct region, and based on 7 distinct region, what I want, 7 distinct region, I have the country, item type, sales channel, order priority, order date, like the ship date, unit sold, unit price, unit cost, total revenue, total cost, and total profit. Okay, now we know that. Now the basic question is, just let me know the total revenue per region, कि हर एक रीजन में मैंने कितना टोटल रेवेन्यू किया है, एंड शो मी द हाईएस्ट रीजन. एंड वी नो दैट कि ये डेटा एक्सेल में तो आ नहीं सकता. वी नीड टू फिगर आउट द सेम आंसर यूजिंग माई एसक्यूएल. यस या नो? दिस कुड बी द प्रॉब्लम ऑफ एनी कंपनी ना. एंड बीइंग अ बिजनेस एनालिस्ट यू नीड टू फिगर आउट कि भाई वो तो कह रहे हैं डेटा इतना ज़्यादा है एक्सेल में आ ही नहीं सकता, बट आई नीड टू फिगर आउट कि विच रीजन हैज़ कंट्रीब्यूटिंग द हाईएस्ट इन रेवेन्यू. अब वो कैसे करें यहाँ पर? सो उसके लिए let me write the comment, highest region by revenue, highest region by revenue, right? Or you can also say region by revenue. Now how to do this? So you have to write select first of all किसके base पे मुझे group करना है. I want to group it based on region. Now second, what I want sum of total revenue, sum of what is total revenue. So total, and just pick the same column name, right? Total revenue. From where? From huge नाम के database में से, big data में से, right? Now what you have to do, just group by the complete data with the help of region and run this. And this will take some time because वो 20 लाख डेटा है, and 20 लाख डेटा में से रीजन को ग्रुप करेगा एंड रेवेन्यूज को ला के दे देगा. आ गया ना आंसर मेरे पास? ऑस्ट्रेलिया एंड समथिंग इतना है, एशिया इतना. नाउ आई कैन एक्सपोर्ट दिस और इसका मैं एनालिसिस कर सकता हूँ बिकॉज एट द एंड मेरे पे आंसर आ गया, राइट? नाउ इफ यू वांट कि वी आर गेटिंग द डेटा एंड आई वांट कि सबसे ज़्यादा किसका था, अगेन आई कैन यूज द ऑर्डर बाय. आई नो दैट order by is like I can particularly order my data on ascending or descending order. But before I use order by, let me just give the temporary name to this aggregation. So temporary name is as like uh, final total revenue, right? Final total revenue, and I can say कि order by किसके बेस पे करना है, it's like final total revenue. and कैसे करना है? descending order में, right? and just run this. इट विल टेक टाइम बिकॉज हम पे 20 लैक्स ऑफ डेटा है, एंड इट सेज कि सबसे ज़्यादा रीजन किसका था? सब सहारन रीजन, एंड द अमाउंट इज लाइक दिस, देन फॉलोड बाय यूरोप एंड देन एशिया. सपोज आई वांट to check, give top 3. We did the same thing in python as well, but वो वही चीज़ हम mysql में कैसे कर सकते हैं? I can just simply write limit 3. limit 3 is like now it will give only the 3 data, top 3 data ही मुझे यहाँ पर ला करके देगा. Now what about the bottom 3? So top 3 highest revenue is like sub-Saharan Africa, Europe region and Asia region. Now what about bottom 3? So you know that कि bottom 3 is like, instead of sorting this in ascending order, descending order, you can say कि ascending order में sort कर दो. ascending order is like कम से ज़्यादा की तरफ दिखाओ, एंड कम से ज़्यादा की तरफ दिखाओगे और ऊपर से टॉप 3 डेटा देखोगे तो वो आपका बॉटम 3 डेटा होगा. यस या नो? सो इट्स लाइक द बॉटम 3 डेटा, नॉर्थ अमेरिका, ऑस्ट्रेलिया एंड ओशियाना. अचीव द लोएस्ट रेवेन्यू, वेल रेवेन्यू साइज इज वेरी बिग राइट, वो बहुत बड़ा रेवेन्यू है, बट फिर भी उसमें ये बॉटम है और ये मेरा टॉप है राइट. इन दिस वे वी नीड टू राइट ऑल दीज क्वेरीज, यस या नो. आपको समझ में आ रहा है राइट. नाउ क्वेश्चन कुड बी एनीथिंग लाइक ये तो रीजन वाइज आपका टोटल रेवेन्यू था. सपोज आई वांट टू चेक कि बेस्ड ऑन ऑर्डर प्रायोरिटी, या जस्ट गिव मी, देखिए द क्वेश्चन कैन बी डिफिकल्ट एज वेल राइट. सपोज आई वांट टू चेक based on each country, based on each country which item type has contributed like what kind of revenue, या what exactly the total revenue. So I want total करना है मुझे कंट्री के अकॉर्डिंग, किस कंट्री में किस आइटम ने कितना रेवेन्यू जनरेट किया. दिस इज द रिक्वायरमेंट एंड जस्ट लेट मी हाईएस्ट किसका था एंड लोएस्ट किसका था. नाउ आई नीड टू ग्रुप बाय यूजिंग टू डिफरेंट थिंग्स. ओके, सो व्हाट आई विल डू, group by using first by country and then second by item type and then third by, see I want to pick like unit sold right. Total revenue तो हमने देख ही लिया, या चलो total revenue and unit sold दोनों देखते हैं. okay, total revenue and unit sold as well. Now again this is very complex query, but we need to write this. Select, the question is I want to group it by first country. So first of all write country and then second group by करना है मुझे item type. Write this item type. Okay. Now what I want? I want total revenue and unit sold का sum. So just hit enter. Use sum of total revenue and give this as temporary name as total या final total revenue. Okay. Now again use another aggregation which is like sum, क्योंकि मुझे total revenue भी पता करना है, total unit sold भी पता करना है. And give this name as final total units sold. right. ये सारा डेटा मुझे कहाँ से मंगाना है? I want all this data from huge dot big data. right. And then मुझे group by करना है. ग्रुप बाय किसके बेस पे? फर्स्ट आई विल डू ग्रुप बाय बेस्ड ऑन कंट्री, देन सेकंड आई विल डू ग्रुप बाय बेस्ड ऑन आइटम टाइप. मुझे इस तरीके से ये क्वेरी रन करना है एंड लेट मी जस्ट रन दिस. देखना यहाँ पर ये बेस्ड ऑन आइटम टाइप एंड कंट्री टाइप इट विल गिव यू द टोटल रेवेन्यू एंड टोटल यूनिट सोल्ड. एंड वाई इट्स टेकिंग सो मच अमाउंट ऑफ टाइम? बिकॉज वी हैव वेरी बिग डेटा. उस 20 लाख डेटा को मैं ग्रुप कर रहा हूँ तो ये काफ़ी बड़ी बात है राइट. एंड 20 लाख इज़ वेरी लेस अगर हम डेटा साइंटिस्ट या बिजनेस एनालिस्ट माइंडसेट से देखें. इट विल टेक टाइम राइट. नाउ दिस इज द आंसर राइट. नाउ यू कैन पर्टिकुलरली डू वन थिंग कि सारा अफगानिस्तान एक तरफ आ गया नाउ, बिकॉज दिस इज द फाइनल समराइज डेटा. नाउ यू कैन एक्सपोर्ट दिस डेटा राइट. दिस इज द यूज केस ऑफ दिस लाइक दिस टाइप ऑफ एसक्यूएल क्वेरीज एंड रिक्वायरमेंट राइट. सो अफगानिस्तान एक तरफ, अफगानिस्तान के सारे आइटम का डेटा राइट. देन अल्बेनिया सारे आइटम का टोटल रेवेन्यू एंड टोटल यूनिट सोल्ड. देन एंडोरा एंड देन फॉलोड बाय एंटुगिया, देन ऑस्ट्रेलिया, then alag alag you have different different countries right. And based on different different countries you have their item type and the total revenue contributed by the item type and the final total unit sold. So in this way you can summarize your complex data with the help of group by concept. Now what I want to order, like I want to limit this data. I can also call like the top 5 data and top 20 data as well, right? But here we are group buying this data with the help of two columns na, so abhi uska requirement nahi hai, but we need to write all these kind of queries, right? I think clarity mila hoga. Just let me know any question related to this. What exactly the purpose of writing all these queries, right? Now I can just simply check based on order priority. Yeah, see we have multiple sales channel. First of all, just let me know how many types of multiple channels we have. So for that we need to write this distinct sales channel from huge dot big data, right? It will run and give you the distinct sales channel कि मेरे पास दो ही sales channel है, online and offline. नाउ आई वांट टू चेक कि मैंने ऑनलाइन में कितना क्वांटिटी सोल्ड किया एंड ऑफलाइन में कितना क्वांटिटी सोल्ड किया. सो जस्ट राइट लाइक दिस, सिलेक्ट sales channel comma sum of units sold, right? Sum of units sold, sum of units sold as total units sold. कहाँ से? From huge dot big data से. And then again group by this data, group by based on what? Group by based on sales channel. It will take time, right? And हम run करते हैं. Now you will get your answer. कि ऑनलाइन वी हैव अचीव समथिंग दिस एंड ऑफलाइन वी हैव अचीव समथिंग दिस. ओके, सी you have to take a screenshot of all these queries and then you have to make a report. What kind of report? Let me just show you. Being a business analyst, you need to do all these things. After identifying the problem, identification of a problem is very important step, right? तो बाद का काम है, कंपनी में बैकएंड का काम है, right? It's not like you always find the like identification of problem by like uh, basic conversation, उसके बेस पे नहीं होगा. See, you need to create a draft like this. Okay, it's like sales या detail report. Okay, detail report on what? Just increase the font size. Detail report on sales team data, right? You can just write like this. Yeah, on company data या e-commerce data, you can give any data, right? Let me just write sales data. And then second thing what you have to do, just simply write your question 1. What is your question 1? See, the basic thing is that you cannot upload this 20 million of data to chat gpt also. अगर ये काम हम उससे भी करा सकते थे तो आई कैन यूज दिस, बट द मेजर प्रॉब्लम इज कि फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल आई एम नॉट अलाउड टू डू दिस because this is the company sensitive data and I cannot publicly upload this in any AI tool, right? And the second thing, if somehow if it is available, तो द डेटा साइज इज वेरी ह्यूज ना, वो 20 मिलियन डेटा में अपलोड ही नहीं कर सकता ना. हाउ आई कैन डू दिस, राइट? उतना लिमिट ही नहीं है. सो दैट्स वेयर देर इज अ रिक्वायरमेंट. वो एआई का भी एक अपना लिमिट है. हाँ, इफ यू हैव, इफ योर कंपनी हैव क्रिएटेड लाइक ओन एआई इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर, तब बात अलग है, तब तो फिर आप कुछ भी कर सकते हैं, राइट? द क्वेश्चन 1 कुड बी कि how many different sales channel do we have? So you can say we have online and offline sales channel. Now let me write the question related to this. Okay, give revenue या revenue breakup, revenue या और units sold breakup by sales channel. This is the question, right? Now for answer you need to take a screenshot of this. You cannot particularly write so you can write answer manually as well, but for proof you have to write, you have to paste like this. Okay, and as a analyst we have to do this on day to day basis. ये हमें बना के देना पड़ता था मैनेजर को, right? the all these questions came from like आपका जो स्टेक होल्डर्स हैं and the management side, and they want this kind of answer because the data set was very huge and excel पे तो वो हो ही नहीं सकता था. एंड इट इज़ लाइक ह्यूज अप टू दैट लेवल कि पावर बीआई भी हैंग हो जाता है कभी कभार. तो उस केस में हमें सीक्वल पे ही उसका एनालिसिस परफॉर्म करना रहता है, राइट? नाउ फॉर बैक प्रूफ यू नीड टू copy this query and then paste it, because this is a proof. And if you don't want to paste the like copy and paste this query, again take a screenshot of this and then paste this. Why? Because after running this query we got this answer. Okay, that's why it's important to give the query proof as well and the answer proof as well, right? So in this way we have to create a report on this. Now the second question, question number 2. The question number 2 is, let me just first run my data. The question number 2 in based on order priority, which has contributed the highest revenue based on order priority. This could be the question, yes or no. Let me know. All respected faculties and members, can like management ask this type of questions, yes or no? Like based on orders priority, just give me the revenue breakup, yes or no, which has contributed the highest revenue and which one has the lowest. And we know that because the data size is very huge, we cannot analyze this data in Excel. And you can say, sir, we can analyze this data using BI as well. Yes, we can do, but for like particularly jumping to the BI part, we need to clean this data. And data cleaning kahan kare? Excel mein to open hi nahi ho sakta. That's why the SQL importance is very important, right? You need to understand. Okay, can I ask this question, yes or no? Just let me know. Is this is a valid question based on order priority? Just let me know the revenue breakup. All
Yes,
faculties.
yes,
Okay.
yes, yes, yes,
Okay,
yes, valid.
now how to particularly run the query for this and how to get the answer. So that's why you need to know some basic or like intermediate level of SQL concept. So the question is, revenue breakup, revenue breakup by order priority. PRIORITY, and just cross verify the column name should be perfect. Okay, this is the question, right? Give like revenue breakup by order priority. Now we need to write the query for this. Okay, so group by concept is very important, believe me, right? Now you have to just copy this order priority, order PRIORITY. Okay, and what we want, sum of total revenue from huge dot big data, and I want the order priority in ascending order. I can give question like this also, right? And sort it from high to low, right? So that we can take decision based on that कि कौन सा order priority ज़्यादा revenue contribute कर रहा है, right? So from huge dot big data, then group this data, group by with order priority. Okay, now once you run this, this will give you the group data and with the sum of total revenue, right? It will take time. So CLHM, we don't know the CHLM, what exactly the CHLM is. For that you can use ChatGPT, and for that you can use the official documentation as well, right? What exactly the OLHM, orders priority in e-commerce data. Let me just cross verify what exactly they are, because before taking any decision we should understand our documentation properly, right? OH, let me just use this one. In sales data, what is order priority refer by OHLM, OHLM. Okay, okay, very good. So O represent order on order or urgent basis, high priority, M medium priority, and low. Oh, this is a very easy one, right? So okay, it's like C, not O. CLHM. Okay, my mistake. It's CLHM. Okay, CLHM. It's not OLHM. It's CLHM. Okay, CL is like critical, right? Critical, low, high, and medium. These are the orders priority, right? Now I want to check which one contributed the highest revenue, the critical order priority, low order priority, high order priority, and medium order priority. So for that I need to order by this data. This data based on, just give some like aliasing for this first. Total revenue, total revenue is like the final total revenue, and use this as order by, and then make it in descending order, and then run this. Now it will give you the highest revenue contributed by the medium order priority. It means whenever come, see, you can say that कि सर यहाँ तो ये कम लग रहा है, ये ज़्यादा लग रहा है. No, it's like in decimal order. Okay, you can round off this data as well. So you can use the round function and just simply say round this to 0 decimal place, okay, and run this, right? So over the sum function we have rounded this data, right? And this will give you the rounded data. Now you can say the medium is at the highest priority, then followed by low, and then followed by critical, and the last one is the high order priority, but contributed the low revenue, not up to that low, because we know that all revenue are already high, right? बहुत बहुत ज़्यादा revenue है ये already. Let me just count कितना है. Ones, tens, 100,000, 10,000 lakh, 10 lakh crore, 10 crore, 100 crore, 1,000 crore, 10,000 crore. It's like 66,000 crore, right? 66,000 crore, almost close to same, right? So we can ask this type of question, right? So now based on this, just copy or take a screenshot of all this and just paste it, right? So that the management can take decision based on this, right? Give revenue breakup by order priority and sort it from order to high, and now give your remarks, okay? Medium has highest contribution of revenue, and you can give the value as well, right? Compared to others, right? So in this way you have to give the remarks, right? I think you got my point. Yes or no, everyone? Right? So being a data analyst or business analyst, you need to create this kind of detailed report just to cross verification by like the SQL queries and with the screenshots, right? And then the company can take decision based on that. So as a business analyst, you can also give suggestion to companies ki I want this type of report, so that the management can take decision based on that, right? It's your task. It's not your task to write all the queries. It's your task to give the suggestions, right? सौरभ जी वो लिया ना कॉफी लिया ना एक हाँ ठीक है सो लेट मी जस्ट ask some another question. Okay, okay, any question from your mindset? Just let me know. कोई आप लोग कुछ पूछना चाहते हैं इसमें से? I'll try my best to give you. I can also check the like trend priority, like order date. What exactly my weekly trends, weekend trends, yearly trends kya hai? Just give me the yearly contribution. Okay, I want all like any one of your inputs from your side. Just let me know so that I'll run the queries based on that. It's not always कि मैं ही बताऊं. आप लोग कुछ पूछना चाहते हैं इसमें से बताइए. I'll write the queries for the same. Anyone? Dr. Vivekanand sir, Dr. Satish sir, Dr. Meenakshi
Sir,
ma'am. Yes.
no doubt, sir. No query.
Okay, just try to bring some queries ना सर, तभी तो मजा आएगा. Then I'll
बिल्कुल
give
सर,
you ना.
जहां मुझे
हाँ,
जहां 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 मुझे लगेगा क्वेरी मेरे
हाँ.
को लेनी है,
No,
मैं जरूर सर आपके
the
साथ शेयर
queries is
करूंगा.
like related to questions. Suppose like you are my manager. Suppose you are my manager, you can ask the question related to like this कि मुझे ये आंसर चाहिए from this data. I want
जस्ट
like
जस्ट
this
जस्ट
kind of
जस्ट
question.
अभी
हाँ,
जैसे आप शेयर कर रहे थे कि जैसे मैं
हाँ,
पूछने वाला था सर, ट्रेंड कैसे करेंगे, तो आपने ट्रेंड का आपने बता ही दिया, मंथली, क्वार्टरली.
right.
दैट्स जो क्वेरीज है तो आप वो सॉल्व करते चले जा रहे हैं. अगर ऐसी कोई क्वेरीज आएगी तो सर मैं जरूर शेयर करूंगा.
ओके, बाकी बाकी कोई और. ओके, अभी अभी मैं बताऊंगा लाइक द ट्रेंड एनालिसिस हाउ वी कैन कैलकुलेट. डॉक्टर सतीश सर, आपके एंड पे कोई क्वेरी इसमें?
नहीं नहीं, देयर इज नो सच क्वेरी.
सर एज अ क्वेश्चन पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से लाइक कि सपोज आप मेरे मैनेजर होते, आप मेरे से क्या क्वेश्चन पूछ सकते थे कि यार मुझे ये एनालिसिस नहीं पता लग रहा है, जस्ट जस्ट ट्राई टू ब्रिंग मी द आंसर और इनसाइट कि ये डेटा बहुत बड़ा है बट पता नहीं लग रहा है कैसे निकाले. हाँ, दिस इज द डेटा आपके सामने है डेटा. जस्ट जस्ट ट्राई टू लाइक यूज सम टेक्निक्स कि इस डेटा से मैं और क्या क्वेश्चंस पूछ सकता हूँ. देन आई विल राइट द क्वेरी फॉर द सेम. और एनी अदर वन, और भी कोई एनी वन? सेल्स चैनल्स का हमने देख लिया. ऑर्डर प्रायोरिटी के बेसिस पे वी लेफ्ट विद लाइक द ऑर्डर ट्रेंड ओनली, राइट? कि ऑर्डर डेट के बेसिस पे हमारा ट्रेंड क्या है, लाइक द वीकली ट्रेंड, मंथली ट्रेंड, ईयरली ट्रेंड, है ना? वही हमारा बचा हुआ है, राइट? आई नो द रीजन वाइज कॉन्ट्रीब्यूशन, रीजन का कॉन्ट्रीब्यूशन है, कंट्री वाइज कॉन्ट्रीब्यूशन, आई नो दैट, राइट? ओके, कैन आई आस्क अ क्वेश्चन कि बेस्ड ऑन परसेंटेज which country has contributed like in what contribution? परसेंटेज फॉर्म में क्या है मेरा, सपोज ऑस्ट्रेलिया, वी हैव ऑस्ट्रेलिया एंड वी नो दैट द रेवेन्यू ब्रेकअप कमिंग फ्रॉम ऑस्ट्रेलिया समथिंग कुछ भी है, जो भी है, राइट, बट वट एग्जैक्टली इन टर्म्स ऑफ परसेंटेज, परसेंटेज फॉर्म में क्या है? कैन आई आस्क दिस क्वेश्चन? आई नो दैट इसके लिए इफ आई वांट टू मेक, आई हैव टू क्रिएट अ लाइक पाई चार्ट फॉर दिस, बट आई वांट टू सॉल्व दिस विद द हेल्प ऑफ माई स्क्यूएल क्वेरी। कैन आई आस्क दिस क्वेश्चन ना? ये सही है कि कनाडा का टोटल रेवेन्यू में कितना कंट्रीब्यूशन है इन टर्म्स ऑफ परसेंटेज, लाइक जापान का, यस या नो, राइट? ओके,
हाँ ये रेलेवेंट है।
right, so okay, let me just ask the country wise revenue percentage contribution. Okay, this is the third question. Now we need to run the query for this. I can also ask GPT कि भाई ये columns है, just give me some hints, but before you go to that part, at least try to gain some basic introductory part कि ये किया कैसे जा सकता है. So select, I want to just calculate कि country के basis पर what exactly I want. I want the total revenue. So use sum of total revenue. Now again we know that we want to get this data from where? Huge dot big data, and then we need to use the group by concept. Believe me, बहुत easy है. आप कहेंगे अरे सर ये तो आइडिया लग ही रहा था ऐसा कुछ हो सकता है, राइट? ग्रुप बाय विद द कंट्री. सो वी नो दैट कि ये मेरा कंट्री वाइज टोटल रेवेन्यू है, बट आई वॉन्ट इट इन परसेंटेज. Very big data, right? बहुत ज़्यादा data. You can just simply check, right? Now the second thing is that let me just give the aliasing name as sum of total revenue, as like sum of total revenue. Let me give this as sum of total revenue this time, right? I can give any name, right? It's completely based upon you. मैं कुछ भी रख सकता हूँ. Let me write this as like Tata company total revenue, right? It can be like anything. वो आपके ऊपर डिपेंड करता है, बट इट शुड बी लाइक आपका एक्सप्लेनेटरी इन नेचर. ऐसा नहीं है कि कुछ भी लिख दिया. इट शुड बी रिलेटेड टू कंपनी डोमेन एज वेल, राइट? देख रहे हैं ना, हियर यू कैन सी कि टाटा कंपनी टोटल रेवेन्यू. सो इंस्टेड ऑफ कॉलिंग दिस टाटा कंपनी टोटल रेवेन्यू, लेट मी कॉल दिस एज फाइनल टोटल रेवेन्यू और सम ऑफ टोटल रेवेन्यू, राइट? दिस इज द रेलेवेंट वन. Okay, right. Now the question is, I want it in percentage, not in some figure, right? So very very easy question, right? So can I do one thing? देखिए, if we have the data like this, we have like west region, east region, the south region and the north region, right? And we have the multiple sales like this. Okay, now I want to check the percentage distribution. So what exactly that we have to do? First of all, मुझे इन सब का total पता होना चाहिए, the sum of all these things, yes or no? And if I divide the individual value, हर एक को अगर मैं उसके sum से divide करता हुआ चलूँ, don't you think कि वो मेरा percentage में आ जाएगा, yes या no? If I divide all this with the total value, so मेरा percentage में तो आएगा. And let me convert this in percentage, yes या no? But we need to do this in in MySQL ना, Excel में तो नहीं करना है. Excel में इस तरीके से कर सकते थे. West has contributed the 27% of what? Of overall sales. Highest किसका है? South का है. So if I want to calculate this, I need this total value. And for that there is a requirement of sub query. यहाँ पर मुझे sub query की ज़रूरत पड़ती है. What exactly I want? So I know that this is the perfect query. But before I run this query, I just really want कि मेरा actual total revenue कितना है. So I will say कि just give me total revenue from huge dot big table. Why I am not getting the perfect hint? ये big database कहाँ से आ रहा है? Is there any like, let me just run this first. Huge dot big table. From big data. It's a big data, not big table, right? हाँ, it's a big data. Okay. This is the total revenue, right? Now the thing is that you know that this is the sum of total revenue by country, and if I somewhat divide this total revenue by country to the total revenue, I'll get the value. Yes या no? क्या ये बात समझ पा रहे हैं आप? कंट्री का टोटल रेवेन्यू सम और डिवाइडेड बाय एक्चुअल सम ऑफ टोटल रेवेन्यू, क्या ये बात कह सकता हूँ? It's like वेस्ट का सम डिवाइडेड बाय द टोटल वैल्यू, ये वही बात है कि नहीं? यस या नो एवरीवन, कैन आई से दिस? बताइए, देन मैं आगे मूव करूं. I am dividing the total revenue of each country by the exactly total revenue of entire data. तो मुझे पता लग जाएगा ना कि कंट्री का रेवेन्यू एंटायर रेवेन्यू के कॉन्टेक्स्ट में क्या चल रहा है मेरा. यस या नो? कैन आई से दिस? बताइए, एनीवन जस्ट कंफर्म. क्या हुआ? ये नहीं आया क्या? ये क्लियर नहीं हुआ क्या? हेलो डॉक्टर सतीश सर, डॉक्टर वर्षा मैम, विवेकानंद सर, एनीवन जस्ट कंफर्म.
यस अंकित जी.
ये क्लियर है मैम? लाइक आई एम
हाँ हाँ
डिवाइडिंग द
क्लियर.
कंट्री वाइज टोटल रेवेन्यू टू द टोटल रेवेन्यू. ओके, सो
ओके.
व्हाट आई डू, मैं इसके लिए आई नीड टू राइट अ सब क्वेरी. सो सब क्वेरी के लिए आई विल जस्ट सिंपली यूज द ब्रैकेट, एंड व्हाट यू हैव टू डू, जस्ट इग्नोर दिस टर्मिनेटर and copy the complete query and paste it here, right? It's like a sub query कि it will try to divide the complete, the country wise total revenue with the complete total revenue, right? And once you run this, you will get your decimal values की total मुझे पता लग जाएगा, right? Like this. Just see here, ये थोड़ा सा टाइम लगेगा चलने में. Now you are getting 0.00, it's all in like float value and you want the data in percentage, but यहाँ पर तो हमने excel में percentage formatting use किया था. But how to do this? So we know that if I somehow convert or multiply the total float value, अगर इस पूरे को मैं एक bracket मान लूँ like this, and if I multiply the complete value by 100, it will give me the percentage. Yes or no? Let me run this again.
ओके सर, ओके.
राइट, एक आइडिया मिला ये किस तरीके से हो रहा है हमारा. ओके,
जी.
हाँ.
जी सर.
नाउ इट विल से कि ओके बस इतना ही 0.53 का कंट्रीब्यूशन. इट लाइक हर एक कंट्री बस 1% भी कंट्रीब्यूट नहीं कर पा रही है, वेरी लेस कंट्रीब्यूशन, राइट? नाउ व्हाट यू वांट, यू जस्ट वांट टू से कि ओके जस्ट डू वन थिंग. आई एग्जैक्टली वांट कि भाई जिसका सबसे ज्यादा है वो मुझे सबसे ज्यादा टॉप पे दिखाए, राइट? सो आई नो दैट कि आई विल से कि ऑर्डर बाय, इस पूरे डेटा को मैंने क्या नाम दिया था? सम ऑफ टोटल रेवेन्यू. सो आई विल से कि ऑर्डर बाय सम ऑफ टोटल रेवेन्यू एंड इन डिसेंडिंग, एंड ऑल्सो डू वन थिंग कि राउंड दिस डेटा, इस पूरे डेटा को राउंड कर लो अप टू व्हाट, अप टू 2 डेसिमल प्लेस, अप टू 2 डेसिमल प्लेस, सो दैट आई विल गेट द डेटा. मेरे को डेसिमल प्लेस में परसेंटेज फॉर्म में डेटा मिले. लेट मी रन दिस. And you can just say कि each country contributing only 0.55%, 0.44%, 0. something 3%, 2%, and if you just like add all the values, अगर आप सभी को ऐड कर देंगे you will get the 100%. इसका प्रूफ देता हूँ अभी. इसको मैंने एक्सपोर्ट किया, इसका नाम मैंने रखा डेस्कटॉप पे बिग डेटा टाटा, बिग डेटा टाटा कंपनी, राइट? And let me just open this big data Tata company in Excel, right? And I know that it says कि भाई इस कंट्री ने इतना कंट्रीब्यूट किया. बस ये देखिए डेटा आ गया ना मेरे पास आफ्टर समराइजेशन, राइट? आई कैन जस्ट डू सिंपली वन थिंग कि भाई इतना इतना अगर कंट्रीब्यूशन है, सो इफ आई जस्ट सम अप ऑल दी डेटा, सो मैं ऑल्ट इज इक्वल्स टू प्रेस करूंगा, इट शुड गिव मी द 100%. ना देखिए 100 आ रहा है मेरे पास क्योंकि मैंने राउंड 2 पे किया हुआ था. सो इट्स लाइक 99.99 आ रहा है. इफ आई यूज द एग्जैक्ट वैल्यू तो वो 100 आता है. यस या नो? right? So you can say कि each country only contributing the 0.5%, not even the 1%, right? 0.5% of overall revenue. So अगर मैं आपसे पूछूं जापान ने overall revenue में कितना contribute किया है, it's like 0.5%, 0.55%, right? It's not even close to 1%. So let me just cross verify this कि country base पे ना करके अगर मैं किसी और पे दिखाऊं तो आपको ये बात प्रूव हो जाएगी. How? इफ आई जस्ट गिव यू कि कंट्री के बेस पे नहीं, मुझे रीजन के बेस पे बताओ. सो व्हाट आई विल डू, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल लेट मी कॉपी द क्वेरी, रन दिस क्वेरी, okay, and write the question here country wise. Okay, country wise revenue contribution, we have already the question country wise revenue contribution, and write this question 3 is country wise revenue contribution and just copy the query, right? You cannot like take a screenshot of complete data, because you know that ना कि अभी ये देखिए मेरा क्वेरी भी उधर राइट साइड भाग रहा है, सो हाउ आई कैन टेक स्क्रीनशॉट ऑफ दिस. इसीलिए देर इज अ फॉर्मेट ऑप्शन, यूज कंट्रोल बी फॉर बॉम्बई. नाउ बी फॉर बॉम्बई विल कन्वर्ट द फॉर्मेटिंग लाइक दिस. ये थोड़ा सा रीड आउट करने में कंफ्यूजन हो रहा है, बट ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड दिस, राइट? दिस इज द एक्चुअल सीक्वल स्टेटमेंट दैट वी हैव रिटन. यही है, यही हमने लिखा है, राइट? नाउ व्हाट आई हैव टू डू, just simply take a screenshot of this, right? This is the query. Why we are taking a screenshot? Anyone can let me know. ये हम screenshot क्यों ले रहे हैं? Because the another employees or another company's employee can run the same query. वो इस query को देख करके उसी डेटा पर ये रन करेगा and they will get the same answer. And this is a proof कि इस query को रन करके हमें ये आंसर मिला है, and it is a proof that इसका यही आंसर रहेगा. So ये proof है, kind of proof है. That's why we are taking a screenshot, right? Not like this. अब ये कहोगे सर ये क्वेरी कुछ और पेस्ट करके स्क्रीनशॉट कुछ और लगा सकते हैं. यस यू कैन डू. वो गलत काम तो कुछ भी हो सकता है, राइट? बट उसकी बात नहीं है. नाउ इफ द सेम क्वेश्चन रिलेटेड टू लाइक suppose I want to calculate this for region wise, yes or no? So let me copy the same query, paste it here, and instead of country you can say region wise, right? So let me just check region किस फॉर्म में लिखा हुआ है, स्पेलिंग क्या है उसका. इट जस्ट अ सिंपल रीजन. ओके, सो आई विल से कि रीजन वाइज. नाउ ग्रुप बाय द डेटा विद द रीजन वाइज एज वेल. जो वहाँ स्टार्टिंग में कॉल करेंगे वही यहाँ पर भी लिखेंगे. नाउ सिंपली सिलेक्ट द डेटा एंड रन दिस. नाउ इट विल गिव यू द रीजन वाइज डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन ऑफ रेवेन्यू, राइट? इट विल अगेन टेक टाइम. एंड इट सेज नाउ यू आर गेटिंग द परफेक्ट आंसर, राइट? सबसे ज़्यादा रेवेन्यू कहाँ से आ रहा है? 25% फ्रॉम सहारा. एंड वी हैव ऑलरेडी क्रॉस वेरीफाई दिस. कहाँ पर? यहाँ पर हमने क्रॉस वेरीफाई किया हुआ था, हेयर समवेयर, यहाँ पर कहीं पे था. वो हमने पेस्ट नहीं किया, बट वो हमने क्वेरी रन किया था, राइट? यस या नो वर्षा मैम, राइट? यू कैन से कि इंडिविजुअली सब सहारन अफ्रीकन contribution like this region contributing a 26% of overall revenue. and सबसे कम कहाँ से आ रहा है? it's like आपका नॉर्थ अमेरिका. नॉर्थ अमेरिका only contributing a 2% of overall revenue, right? so the question 4 is region wise total revenue distribution, and you can just simply paste this, right? and if you want to like make a visual of this na, so you can do one thing. सी देखिए ना, बहुत कुछ है यहाँ पर हमारे पास सीखने के लिए, राइट? आई कैन सिंपली कॉपी दिस क्वेरी एज वेल एंड मैं पावर वी में पेस्ट कर सकता हूँ. ओके, यू वॉन्ट हाउ टू शो लाइक हाउ टू अचीव दिस? बताइए, आर यू इंटरेस्टेड? ये मैं शो करूँ कि इफ़ आई रियली वॉन्ट टू पर्टिकुलरली बस मुझे इतना ही डेटा पावर वी में दिखाना है. बताइए, एनी वन? इट्स नॉट लाइक मैं सारे डेटा को नहीं मंगाऊंगा. आई जस्ट रियली वॉन्ट टू समराइज दिस डेटा कि बस इसी का मुझे विजुअल बनाना है. दैट्स वाई फॉर अ पावर बी डेवलपर और फॉर बी आई एनालिस्ट इट्स इंपॉर्टेंट टू लर्न ऑल दिस एसक्यूएल कॉन्सेप्ट एज वेल. क्योंकि कभी कभार यू नो दैट ना कि आप उतना ज़्यादा डेटा नहीं मंगा सकते बी आई में भी. दैट्स वाई देर इज अ रिक्वायरमेंट ऑफ समराइज डेटा मंगाने की ज़रूरत है. कैन आई रन दिस? बताइए, रन
यस
करके
यस.
देखिए. ओके, so let me open the Power BI. I can connect the Power BI with MySQL, SQL Server, and not only Power BI, I can connect with the Tableau as well, right? So next class now we have completely devoted to Tableau, and it's like we will complete our curriculum on upcoming Friday, because I have stressed this FDP because I want to give something more, which is like ML introduction, machine learning, सो दैट वी कैन फोरकास्ट दी फ्यूचर वैल्यू एज वेल. वो आधे एक घंटे में नहीं हो पाता कल में, राइट? सो आई हैव लाइक ट्रिम सम एफ डी पी डे टू डे मॉड्यूल्स एंड इट इज़ लाइक जस्ट लेट मी नो. आप लोगों को कोई इशू तो नहीं है? इट्स माई पर्सनल डिसीजन. आई नीड टू जस्ट क्रॉस वेरीफाई विद द इंदू मैम, लाइक उनसे पूछना पड़ेगा मुझे. बताइए, शुड इट बी लाइक कि कल का डे मैं पूरा टैबलू को दूं, या मैं उसी में एमएल इंट्रोड्यूस करूं, या इट शुड बी लाइक एक नेक्स्ट डे एमएल का रख लेते हैं? बताइए, लेट मी नो. एनीवन? हेलो, यस सर, विवेकानंद सर, बताइए.
हाँ सर, एमएल का थोड़ा सेपरेट रख लेते तो ज्यादा बेटर होता।
ज़्यादा बेटर रहेगा ना, ठीक है। सो इट्स लाइक
हम्म।
टैब्लू का मैंने शिफ्ट कर दिया फॉर एंटायर फुल डे, एंड इंस्टेड ऑफ गिविंग मशीन लर्निंग इंट्रोडक्शन इन अ डे 5, आई विल गिव यू द ओवरव्यू, और नॉट द ओवरव्यू, द कंप्लीट इम्प्लीमेंटेशन ऑफ मशीन लर्निंग लाइक सैटरडे। सैटरडे आप सभी का ओपन रहता है ना? जस्ट लेट मी कंफर्म दिस, या जस्ट कंफर्म मी दिस, और आई हैव टू कंफर्म दिस, बताइए। डॉक्टर सतीश सर, वर्षा मैम।
सर फर्स्ट एंड थर्ड सैटरडे ऑफ रहता है यूनिवर्सिटी का, बाकी कंटिन्यू रहता है।
व्हाट अबाउट दिस सैटरडे, अभी जो आ रहा है हमारा, लाइक 25th?
सर ये थर्ड सैटरडे तो ओवर हो गया, तो ये अभी ओपन रहेगा।
ओपन रहेगा ना, ओके ठीक है।
हम्म।
So now the question was कि I need to convert this data into a visual, and we need to run this query in Power BI. So I'll do, मैं इसे copy कर लूँगा, just go to this, click on this blank report, right? And go to this get data, and now we want to get data from MySQL. So click on this more, and just simply write MySQL here. This is the MySQL database. Just simply click on this connect. It will ask you the server name. The server name is localhost. Okay, and the database, and you know that the database name is huge. Just go to this advanced option, and it says SQL statement, so you don't need to pull the complete data, because you know that वो 20 लाख का डेटा पावर बीआई हैंग हो जाएगा, ठीक है। सो जस्ट पेस्ट दिस, यहाँ पर मैंने ये पूरा पेस्ट कर दिया, यस या नो? इग्नोर द लास्ट टर्मिनेटर एंड जस्ट क्लिक ओके। इट विल ट्राई टू रन दिस क्वेरी, वो उस क्वेरी को रन करेगा, एंड इट विल गिव यू द डेटा। अगर वो डेटा मेरे पास आ गया, देन आई कैन कन्वर्ट दिस डेटा इनटू अ विजुअल, राइट? दैट्स वाई फॉर अ बिजनेस एनालिस्ट और फॉर अ बीआई डेवलपर दिस वन इज इंपॉर्टेंट। देखिए आया कि नहीं आया, एम आई गेटिंग द सेम आंसर और नॉट, यस या नो? देखिए जो मुझे पावर बी आई, यहाँ जो मुझे माई स्क्यूएल में आंसर मिल रहा है, आई एम गेटिंग द सेम आंसर इन पावर बी आई एज वेल, यस या नो, राइट? सब सहारा अफ्रीका यूरोप एशिया, राइट? And I know that this data is already neat and clean. I can simply convert this, like call this to load mode, and then मैं visual में convert कर सकता हूँ. This is the power of like using MySQL and Power BI connectively, right? And just call this data and convert this data into a good looking visual, and you can use any of the chart, like a funnel chart, tree map. You can use the line chart as well. I don't think there is a line chart requirement. You can use the like pie chart and donut chart. This should be recommended, right? It will take some time because it try to connect with the like MySQL. Okay, now the data has loaded successfully. Now go to this. Now what you want? You want the pie chart. Pie chart based on what? You want a pie chart based on region and the data that you have. So just simply drop the region in legend and drop the total revenue here. And here is the final answer that we are getting, right? Yes, no, sahi hai na? The overall distribution of data. Just go to this formatting, open this like detail labels. You can go to this values as well. You can change the font size to 20, right? And you are getting the final answer. Yes or no? The sub-Saharan region, it's like 25.98. We all know that कि जितना value उतना ही percentage है. So I don't think there is a requirement of a percentage, right? So you can just say the data value, or you can just say the percentage of total, right? This one is perfect, right? If you want to convert this into the donut chart as well, so just simply click on this donut chart. This is the beauty of Power BI, and this is the beauty of like MySQL. You just need to understand all these concepts, right? And if there is any change inside this databases or table के अंदर, it should be directly reflected in Power BI. ये हमने करके भी देखा हुआ है, yes या no, जब हमने लास्ट क्लास में गॉट चार्ट बनाया था, am I right? है ना? So in this way we can use this MySQL concept as well. Right now, the last query for this code is that we can like run join conditions as well. We can join multiple table as well inside MySQL or SQL. We can particularly like use the like operator as well. Suppose like this is the data, right? Let me just go to new tab and call select star from employees, right? Employee details. And inside the employee details, let me just ignore this employee details, what I want the Zepto data, right? Inside the Zepto data, I have the data which is related to e-commerce data, right? So I'll say कि select करो star from where Zepto database में, and Zepto में क्या data दिखाओ मुझे, e-commerce data दिखाओ, right? Again, it's very huge data, right? It's like 1,13,000 of data. Now what I want just only that product जो मेरा A से start होता है, ठीक है? So for that I need to use the like operator. So like operator is like, अब वो A वाले product मुझे दिखाएगा. So I will use the same query, just paste it here and select star from e-commerce data and just simply write where the product like product, where the product like, and like में you can just simply give a से start होता है, and start होने के लिए just write the percentage, right? So it should start with a and that percentage represent कि आगे कुछ भी हो सकता है, and run this and it will only give you the product with the like that starts with the a. Yes या no? देखिए वही आ रहा है ना, like it start with the a. So in this way, like the actual Amazon website works, you can use the like operator as well. If you want कि जो a से start नहीं होता है, so just paste the same statement and write not like a percentage and just run this. Now it will give you the every data, but it will not start with the a1. वो f से हो जाएगा, b से हो जाएगा, p से हो जाएगा, but a से start नहीं होगा, right? Now suppose you want कि start किसी से भी होता है but last में s आता है, so you will write percentage s में s last में आएगा and percentage represent आगे कुछ भी हो सकता है. So just run this and you can just cross verify कि देखिए इट इज़ लाइक प्रोडक्ट में हिमानी अल्ट्रा स्लिम टी 10 बैग्स, लास्ट में एस आ रहा है, यस या नो? इन सब के लास्ट में देखिए एस आएगा. फिटनेस में एस, बैग्स में एस, बैग्स में एस, बैग्स में एस, राइट? इफ़ यू वांट कि लास्ट में खाली बैग्स लिखा हो, सो यू कैन ऑल्सो राइट दिस कि BAGS लिखा हो, बैग्स लिखा हो, लाइक दिस, एंड जस्ट रन दिस एंड नाउ इट विल गिव यू द बैग्स डेटा. देखिए द 10 बैग्स, 20 बैग्स, 10 बैग्स, 20 बैग्स, एंड इफ़ यू वांट कि खाली 10 बैग्स लिखा हो, सो आप ये भी लिख सकते हैं 10 स्पेस बैग्स. नाउ इट विल गिव यू द 10 बैग्स डेटा. ये सही है कि नहीं है? Himani Ultra Slim Tea 10 bags, right? In this way, you can play with data, right? And you can take decision based on that. This is the use case of a like operator, and I believe कि ये समझ में आ गया होगा. Yes या no? Right? So now in next class we will start with the Tableau introduction. Let me just introduce the Tableau very little bit. It's like again a BI tool, and we need to work on like the way we did in Power BI and in the Google Looker Studio as well. Yes, any question, anything that you wants to say, something, Vivekanand sir? कुछ बताना है, बताइए सर. Okay, so I think this is enough for today. Like we understood the overall concept related to MySQL and all, like how to particularly use the databases concept. And believe me, if you want to learn more, then simply use this W3 as a reference, right? As a business analyst, you no need to like इससे ज़्यादा आपको नहीं सीखना, ठीक है? Because you are not like applying all the SQL concept daily. So you just need to understand, अच्छा इस तरीके से हम काम कर सकते हैं. We have the case and when function. I can use the group by and having clause as well. I have multiple types of joins. I can use this, right? If you are really interested कि भाई SQL पे भी session होना चाहिए, Power BI पे भी session होना चाहिए, then let the management know and then we will decide based on that, right? Okay. So any doubt related to as of now, and let we keep the Tableau introduction tomorrow. I think this should be enough like for today. आज के लिए इतना काफ़ी है, and we will start with the Tableau introduction and then we will complete the entire Tableau. Believe me, 5 घंटे में बहुत कुछ सीख लेंगे हम Tableau में, right? And then the last day was like related to machine learning, forecasting models and all. Okay. So Dr. Satish sir, Dr. Varsha ma'am, Dr. Vivekanand sir, Dr. Madan sir, any doubt related to this? बताइए.
No, sir.
We have done two visualization techniques, Ankit ji.
Yes, ma'am. The Power BI in detail
And
and the Google Looker Studio, and we have completely dedicated. We want to like dedicate the last day with the Tableau itself, because as a business analyst, you need to more work on Tableau. ठीक है, तो कल का पूरा Tableau का रखा है हमने, right?
अच्छा,
हम्म.
ठीक है.
सर एक और रिक्वेस्ट है
हाँ
आपसे, वो
बताइए सर।
सेकंड डे की जो आपने वीडियो अपलोड करी थी, मैं डाउनलोड कर रहा था, हो नहीं पा रही थी, तो सर एक बार वो दोबारा रिपीट कर देंगे तो क्या था?
लेट मी जस्ट शो यू, द थिंग इज दैट ना ऑल वीडियोज आर लाइक कंप्रेस्ड, सो आपको उसे अनजिप करना पड़ेगा। लेट मी जस्ट शो यू। सी डे टू का है ना, दिस इज लाइक GBU FDP, सो जस्ट सिंपली क्लिक ऑन दिस एंड यू नीड टू डाउनलोड द कंप्लीट फोल्डर, राइट? आप ये पूरा फोल्डर ही डाउनलोड कर लो। इट विल टेक टाइम बिकॉज ये काफ़ी बड़ी फाइल है। यू कैन जस्ट सिंपली चेक 773 MB एंड देन 921 MB, राइट? इट क्लोज टू मोर देन वन लाइक 1.5 और 6 GB, राइट? तो ये टाइम लेगा डाउनलोड होने में। यू नीड सम गुड नेटवर्क स्ट्रेंथ, तभी ये डाउनलोड हो पाएगा।
तो
सो
बाकी वीडियोस हो गई, ये सेकंड डेज वाली ही मैं जब ट्राई कर रहा था तो बार बार वो एरर दिखा रहा था।
ओके, सो इज
और
देयर एनीवन जो सेम सेम इशू फेस कर रहे हैं? डॉक्टर सतीश सर, आपके एंड पे भी सेम इशू आ रहा है?
नहीं, डाउनलोड तो हुई है वीडियो। वो
डाउनलोड
एक्चुअली
हुई है, हाँ।
मुझे लग रहा है आपके सिस्टम में कंपैटिबल एप्लीकेशन होना चाहिए जो वीडियो को सपोर्ट करे।
हाँ हाँ, दिस इज द
नहीं
ऑल्सो
नहीं सर,
हाँ।
डाउनलोड ही नहीं हो रही थी। डाउनलोड हो जाती तो कंपेटेबिलिटी तो पता चल जाती, सपोर्ट कर रहा है या
ऑफ
नहीं।
कोर्स ऑफ
डाउनलोड नहीं
कोर्स।
हो रहा था, जैसे फर्स्ट डे की बड़ी आसानी से हो गई थी।
ओके
लास्ट डे कल भी कोई शेयर करी गई थी, वो भी सेकंड वीडियोस जब मैं डाउनलोड कर रहा था तो वो नहीं हो पा रही थी।
ओके, नो इशू, आई विल अपलोड द सेम वीडियो एंड मैं ग्रुप में लिंक भेज दूंगा। एंड फाइनल डे में ना आई विल गिव द कंप्लीट लिंक, डे 1 का, डे 2 का एंड देन डे 5 डे 6 का, राइट? सो
ओके सर, ओके
ठीक है, ओके सर।
हाँ,
थैंक
सो
यू सर।
आई हाँ, सो आई अपलोड द एंटायर वीडियो अगेन एंड मैं देखता हूँ अगर इसका कोई दूसरा ऑप्शन भी होगा जिसमें डायरेक्ट वीडियो प्ले हो जाए, दैट कुड बी द बेटर वन, राइट? सो अभी तक इफ आई जस्ट वांट टू समराइज, सो अभी तक हमने डे 1 से डे 4 जितना भी सीखा, वाज इट लाइक वर्थ वाइल? कुछ सीखा, मतलब आप लोग को लगा कि हाँ इट इज़ लाइक अभी तक जो चल रहा है क्लोजली रिलेटेड टू FDPs एंड बिजनेस एनालिस्ट, इट इज़ लाइक फ्रॉम एंटायर डे? बिकॉज आई हैव पुट माई ओवरऑल एक्सपीरियंस जितना हो सकता था वो मैंने इसमें मेंशन करने की कोशिश करी है, फ्रॉम BRDs, methodologies, Python development and all, right? Anyone? बताइए डॉक्टर सतीश सर।
It was worthwhile indeed.
ओके,
We
थैंक यू
got to
वेरी
learn
मच।
all the various things related to Python, two visualization tools, and definitely tomorrow's table is going to be more interesting. But only thing is that it is too fast.
या ऑफ कोर्स इट
I
इज़ टू
mean,
फास्ट
जैसे
है।
ही
हाँ
होता ना कि जैसे थोड़ी सी नजर हटी
हाँ,
तो दुर्घटना घटी, काइंड ऑफ
राइट राइट
that, we have to continuously focus on this thing, otherwise we miss the things and we miss the link.
राइट।
So that's the
दैट्स
thing.
हाँ,
Yeah.
दैट्स वाई वी हैव रिकॉर्डेड ऑल द सेशन, वो बार बार देखना पड़ेगा। एंड दिस 25 hours इज कंप्लीट लाइक churning of, you can say कि if you just repeat the videos again and again, it is close to more than 50 hours। वो पूरा बार बार टाइम लगेगा उसको डाइजेस्ट करने में, राइट? बट बिलीव मी, बहुत कुछ इसमें सीखने को मिलेगा अभी। एंड द लास्ट फाइनल डे ML इज गोइंग टू बी क्रेजी। उसमें आप देखना कि नाउ वी कैन लाइक से कि हाँ अब हम कुछ प्रिडिक्ट कर सकते हैं एंड वी कैन क्रिएट आवर ओन मॉडल्स एज वेल, राइट?
Mhm.
So let me just stop my sharing
Yes.
and I'll
Mhm.
give you the recordings as well। and final day में मैं आपको सारे data set, सारे PPTs, जो मेरा GitHub का प्रोफाइल है, I'll give you the access of all these things, right? Then you can explore again and again, right? So let me
Okay,
just
sir.
stop this recording।